What's going on, you guys? It's me, AnarchYxNinja. So today, we're going to review Acolyte Episode 7. Side note, we are live streaming. We just started it. I'm going to give my reviews, or my thoughts before I look at the chat, and then after that, we'll break down what the chat's saying. Anyway, long story short, it's not good, dude. This episode was just... We waited 7 episodes to get this flashback. That was pretty obvious. Even our predictions were pretty spot on. So there's really no excitement in it. We kind of could see it was coming. So building up to this being there's only 8 episodes in the entire season. So episode 7 is usually pretty big. This one really didn't do nothing we didn't already know. So in terms of that, it's not very impactful. Just the acting of this particular season, or this particular episode, just really felt clunky. The decisions didn't make sense, and no, I'm not even talking like, that's not how Jedi would act. I'm not even talking on that nostalgia level of that. I just mean, based off watching the show, the decisions they make don't make sense. I don't remember what's the young Padawan's name? The one who was meditating. I forgot his name off the top of my head. Out of nowhere, he just jumps on the bike and goes to get to the castle where the witches are at. And I get it, because he wants to go home, but the decision just felt really weird. The acting by the mother Anasea lady just was really awkward. Even when they tried to have a big impactful moment where I choose, like, they're like, you're our leader, but you're also their mother. Which do you choose? Blah, blah, blah. She goes, I choose mother. And it was just the most corny, awkward, like, this episode, I don't have much to say that's positive. It's just sad seeing Star Wars at such a sad state right now, where I'm not even talking about them ruining the lore aspect. I know that's what everybody always chooses as the main thing. I'm not even talking about that. The fact that this show is so lackluster, nothing really happened that we didn't already know would happen. Soul ultimately kills Anaseo, and she was gonna let her go, but it just, that scene was awkward, and it didn't even feel impactful. Soul's acting wasn't very good in this particular episode. He's been fine other episodes. This episode, it just felt really weird, and just, I really don't know what to say, man. The fire spreading, which was one of our problems from the first flashback, now we've confirmed it. My main thing with the fire spreading, it didn't make any sense, because it's all concrete. I get the fire initially spreading by the door, because, you know, there's the gas from the lantern, blah, 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 but now it spreads to the whole place, and it all lights on fire? It just felt really strange to me. We were right that Kanonaka was going to be the one who was mind-tricked again, if you will. Like, whatever witch mind-trick. It was either going to be the Padawan that, for whatever reason, I can't remember his name, Tommen, I guess you could say, from Game of Thrones. Or it was going to be Kanonaka. We knew the fight was coming because we saw that in the trailer early on, and we hadn't seen it in the show yet, so we knew it was coming. So again, that kind of took away from the excitement of this episode. I mean, I'm going to be honest, I just don't got much positive to say about it. I really just... Even, what's her name? The leader of the Jedi that was there. I'm drawing blanks on all these names. Her reaction to the whole massacre didn't make much sense either. I get they want to be a cover-up, but then she's like, oh, we're doing this, blah, 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 blah. Oh, now, you know what? Now we're just gonna lie, because you need to raise this kid. They made... This part, I guess you could say, is a little weird with the lore, because I've always thought the Jedi were weird. I'm not one of those Jedi lovers that's nostalgic to them, and oh my god, Jedi are amazing, don't make them look bad. No. They made their attachment to the kids look very fucking strange to me. But, whatever. You do what you want on that one, I guess, but... I don't know. I really don't have much positive to say about this show, and the fact that there's only 1 episode left, and this episode really didn't do anything that we didn't already know. I guess the main thing that was interesting is that they talked about Brendok, that planet, being affected by a hyperspace disaster a long time ago. That's why the Jedi were initially there looking for signs of life, and if the planet was a virgins or whatever, some magic super force power, and that's why they wanted it. That's the only thing that kind of interests me that went into the creation of life on the planet, aka those 2 girls. Other than that, I'm gonna be honest, this episode didn't need to even happen, really, or the flashback could have been handled differently. The whole episode was a flashback. It didn't advance the overall story hardly at all, other than the mention of the planet having a virgins on it. Everything else we kind of could see coming. You know, and this time I kind of spoiled it by looking on Twitter and seeing what people were saying. And again, it's kind of my problem with the Star Wars fandom as a whole. I'm breaking things down objectively. I'm not using the nostalgia of the Jedi or making them look bad. I figured they've been bad for a long time, so I don't care. But I keep seeing the other side of Star Wars fans, who they're just loving and eating this show up. And I'm gonna be honest, that's dangerous. You know, I wish I were you to a certain extent, where I could just enjoy stuff. Even though it's blatantly not good. The pacing of the show is awful. The structure of this show is awful. It's not particularly good. And just seeing so many of them like, oh my god, that's so impactful, Mother Anastasia. Mother Anastasia felt very strange. Again, it wasn't even hard to predict. We said this back in the first flashback. I go, probably Anastasia's gonna want the kid to go. The other mother, again, forgetting her name, is not gonna want the kid to go. There's gonna be conflict between them there. That's where this all starts. It's all too easy to see happening, and not in a good way. And that's exactly what happened. So there's like no excitement building up to this. But there's so many Star Wars fans acting like this is just next level writing. The show's amazing. And when we allow Star Wars to make shows of this lackluster quality and hype them up, and you're not doing it because you like the show. I'm gonna be honest, a lot of them are doing it because on social media you gotta pick a side. It's the same way in politics and everything. There's the side that hates it and there's the side that loves it. Both of them are on opposite sides, the far sides of the spectrum. Me in the middle, I want to like the show, but it's not particularly good. There's aspects in there that I like, but the execution of the show is absolutely horrid, in my opinion. But a lot of the dudes liking this show, or to me, I could be completely wrong, they're just liking it because they're on that side, and they're just afraid if they start just voicing their opinions against it, they're going to be put in that other group that they don't like. They're on this side, they don't want to be labeled as the other side group. They're too afraid to voice their opinions. This show is not good. That's, in my opinion, I don't even think it's an opinion, really. It's just the pacing of the show's horrible, the structure of the show's horrible, the acting of the show's not very good. When you factor in the amount of budget this show has, I don't even think the CGI is good, and they're missing the mark on a lot of this. The show is I know a lot of the people are saying it's probably would be better if it was a movie. I'm not even sold on that. I think it would be better if you watched all the episodes at once instead of having to wait a week between each episode. But the fact that we're going into the finale now, and there's literally like, it's just going to be cliffhangers now. They kind of have to. They're going to have a big season finale, obviously. You always do, every show does. But the build-up to it has been horrible. I personally feel bad that so many people are deciding to just blatantly love this show when there's so much objectively wrong with it. And again, the problem with that is, if there's still enough of them that keep doing that, Star Wars isn't going to have to hold themselves accountable. They're going to be fine. This is fine. People just like it and dislike it. We can make this. They don't need to hold themselves accountable and make really good content. This content has been very lackluster from this show. So, I don't know. I'm sure I'm missing stuff. Let's go see what the chat's saying, but it's just... Side note, I mean, this is just one more thing before I say what the chat says. I kind of get it, but it kind of also annoyed me when they were fighting Torben, the Jedi name, and Cal Nuka. I get they didn't want to kill each other, right? So I can write this off what I'm saying. So it's just a small nitpick. This isn't a big deal. But when he pinned him against the wall, when Cal Nuka pinned Torben against the wall, Torben literally has his lightsaber ignited and could literally just swipe him at any given point and take out Cal Nuka. Cal Nuka could have also killed him at that point, which doesn't make sense because Cal Nuka was mind tricked. He probably should have been killing him at that point. The choreography kind of sucks. So Cal Nuka should have killed Torben because he was out of control. He clearly was, because they needed Indara, there's the other name, they're randomly coming back to me, to save him. So he should have killed Torben in that series of dialogue there. The dialogue was bad. Or, not the dialogue, the what do you call it? The choreography. Let me rephrase that. The choreography was bad on those scenes. It was good in the other episodes. I can look over some of the small nitpicks. This one, it was not good. Torben could have killed him when he pushed him against the wall. Didn't. Echoed Book of Boba Fett levels of garbage writing in terms of choreography. But even then, Torben has his lightsaber. They're like, I'm being hurt so bad. Like, literally, all you gotta do is flick your wrist and your lightsaber's going directly into Kalnucka. But I get, in his case, he probably didn't want to kill him, even though I think that's a little bit of bullshit. Chop his arm off, dude. This dude's about to kill you, but I get it. Jedi, you know, they have mysterious ways. Choreography wasn't very good. And then I guess the only other thing we didn't mention was to save Kalnucka, Indara grabs him and does like her reverse mind trick, and that kills all the witches that were in his mind. Kind of weird scene to me, but whatever. Anyway, let's see what the chat says. I know it's not going to be good because we have realistic fans on my channel, not a bunch of I just hate it and a bunch of I love everything Star Wars. So it's not going to be good. I can already tell you what my fans are thinking without looking. But, and I agree, this show, it's just, we built up, it was shit. We had an awesome moment in episode 5, I believe it was, with the duel. Let's go. And then they immediately followed up with a shit lackluster episode in episode 6. And here we go, building up to a flashback that I don't think should have been an entire episode. And we wasted a whole episode 7 when there's only one more episode after this. And we advance the story in virtually no way other than them talking about the divergence, or the divergence, whatever, blah, 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 the force power. This show is just, it's bad. Especially when you compare it to a show like House of the Dragon, which has a similar budget coming out at the same time, where every episode's awesome. And then you come to this one, and we're just struggling to find something awesome. And a lot of those dudes liking the show, they're struggling to like it. Like, the shit they're saying is, you can tell they're just saying it to say it. It's not, I don't think anybody out there is thinking Mother Anastasia is an amazing character, but when you go on Twitter, they're like, oh yes, Anastasia. I'm like, that character wasn't good, the acting wasn't good, it was obvious what was going to happen for the whole time. We called it. There's no excitement in this writing whatsoever. It's like, what are we fucking doing with a show, man? And now the excitement in the finale is, now what? I guess we can get into our predictions. We still haven't looked at chat yet. Sorry, I keep saying we are, and then we don't. Now what do we do? So now we're going to talk about the council. What's going to happen? We're going to see Soul maybe talk about, like, it's just... There's too much stuff to happen in one episode in this finale, and there's been nothing... How do I put it? There's so many plot points they could do stuff in this season that they are now saving to squeeze into one episode. So they're either going to rush through those plot points, or they're going to save them for a season 2. And let's face it, season 2 is probably not highly wanted. I know there's going to be some people, oh, the Acolyte's amazing, but they're that ass-kissing side that they're just telling you, you know, they just don't want to be labeled as the haters. You know, that's literally it. Most of these complaints you can disprove with facts, so. Yeah. I really... I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just trying not to get this demonetized, but... Just join. How was the episode? Not good. Wasted it. Let's look through chat while we wait for these guys to get here. Let's see if we can find any comments that are relevant. Do I think they'll get a second season? I don't want a second season. This season, this show's been handled so poorly. No, but whatever. I feel like they're gonna kind of have to with the way the writing is, because again, like I said, they're going into the last episode with so many plot points. We don't know anything about. Man, I'm horrible with names. The Stranger, the lightsaber wieldy guy, the awesome guy we like. We don't know anything about him. We don't know what's gonna happen with Soul in the council. We don't know what's going to happen with May and them. Then they have to factor in if there's going to be a Plagueis involved in it. Or Tenebrous. There's so much stuff they have to do in one episode now. And by having this lackluster writing, you either have to cram it into one episode and go over these things too fast, or you got to save it for a season 2. And let's just put it this way. After this, the finale can't save it for me. Even if the finale's perfect, the show itself is not good. 2 episodes out of 8 that I find enjoyment in, that's not a good enough show for me, in my opinion. Especially when we compare House of the Dragon. We watch 4 episodes, and I'm like, dude, let's go, this is awesome. They don't spend all day building up to that one plot point. Like we said in the previous review, they have the flashback we knew was coming, and again, very predictable, now confirmed after this. But that they built up to that as being one of the big moments, and it wasn't very big. It's just... it was all predictable. We could see it coming, and even the acting of it I didn't think was good. So it kind of takes away from the significance of it. And they saved that for episode 7. Where this, if it was shot in House of the Dragon style, this would have been something done early on and done quick. And we could move on to the more awesome plot points. But no, this show decides to drag it out. It's just... Oh man,
The base is still evacuating. We need more time.
Yeah, it's just not very... Yeah, I really don't. I don't know if it's worse than Boba. It's up there, though, for me anyway. It's up there with Boba and Kenobi in terms of the worst show right now. Its structure's just horrible. That's probably one of my main complaints. The acting's horrible, CGI's horrible. There's a couple things in the plot I'm kind of like, that could be interesting, but the way they're dealing with it, you're not even getting to it. It's just like, man. It just leaves such a bad taste in my mouth, man. Like, Star Wars should be so much better, dude. The fact that there's so many people absolutely loving this on social media just to get their brownie points annoys me, because we should be expecting so much better from Star Wars. This show is a pile of poo-poo compared to other shows that are out there, and even other Disney Star Wars shows. It is not good, objectively speaking, and they're just like out there loving it, dude. And it's sad to me, because if you don't hold Disney accountable, they're not going to fix anything. They're going to be, nah, look, there's enough people who like it. So anyway, I don't have high hopes going into anything Disney Star Wars. I haven't had for a while, and now this only confirms it. Did this show save it? Absolutely not. Not even close, in my opinion. But, thanks, whatever. Yeah, I really don't care about spoilers on this show either. Really, you don't even need to look at spoilers. It's all very predictable, to be honest. It's not anything crazy. Yeah, that's a good point. I'm glad you brought that up. Why did Torben kill himself? We said they needed to have that payoff be good. The payoff wasn't good. I'm glad you mentioned that, because I completely forgot about that. But all he did was get mind tricked. And his mind trick didn't even lead to the death of the people. It was actually Cal Nucka's mind trick. So if anybody should be killing himself out of guilt, it should have actually been Cal Nucka, not Torben. So if they wanted to write that scene better, they should have had Torben get mind tricked again. And they kind of went down that route where you can't get mind tricked again, man. You gotta be stronger than this. And have him get mind tricked again. Now he'd feel he's weak. That's why he's meditating in the Force more. And because he had to be saved by... What's the good Jedi's name? Is it Finestra? Or the female Jedi, the leader of that group? I think it's Finestra, I don't know. But whatever. That lady would have then had to save him by killing all the witches and getting them out of his head. That would make more sense why Torben wanted to kill himself. But they didn't do that, so that's another point that just doesn't make sense in this writing. Why is he killing himself for that? He got mind tricked, but it didn't lead to anything bad. Cal Nucka did. So him killing himself is just very out of place. It doesn't fit. Where I was on board with it early on, but they needed to have a good payoff. The payoff was not good whatsoever. Doesn't make any sense. So GG's on their storytelling yet again. Makes zero sense. But here we go. There's another great thing about Disney Star Wars. They just...
It'll all be lost in seconds unless you stop them.
It's just sad, dude. This show should be so much better, dude. That's really my last... Your wife watched it and she's not a huge Star Wars nerd and she thinks it's bad? I agree with her. And again, like I said, I'm very good at separating Star Wars lore. And I'm actually more on board with the lore now that someone's explained to me all the fucking comics and shit, which I don't think you should have to know to watch a show. They need to do a better job explaining that, not just in comics and books. But even then, I don't think it's super lore breaking now. But just objectively speaking, from the way the show's structured, the acting and the CGI and everything about it, the writing, it's not good. It's just breaking a show down. It's not very good. Whether you like Star Wars or not, you can break down that this show's not good. It doesn't need to affect the lore. You don't need to be nostalgic to Jedi and, oh, they're hurting Luke Skywalker or Anakin. You can separate it from that. The show's not good. But yeah, this episode came out very corny. There were moments with Soul where I'm like, oh, this acting sucks. The way the decision making was done by the characters was just very abrupt, and it didn't feel like a realistic move from somebody. And I'm not just talking solely because, oh, that's not how Jedi would act. Jedi make mistakes. I'm perfectly fine with that. But just the way they jump to certain conclusions to move the story along. It felt very weird. And my main one is Torben just randomly running off on his own to, we need to get him, this is the proof so I can go home. It felt very like, that's a stretch to go from wanting to go home to just randomly losing your mind basically and going out that way. It doesn't make sense. Mother Anastaea's acting when I choose mother, it felt very corny to me. I'm just like, oh man. And I figured that was coming. So I'm not even mad at her choosing that outcome, right? But the writing to get her there was just very corny. I'm like, oh my goodness, dude. They should do better with the budget they have in so many different levels. It's really, yeah, I think the Acolyte is a waste of time. Minus a couple plot points here and there. For the most part, it's just, it doesn't make much sense. Yeah, that's my point, Jacob. Like, I get he wants to go home, but they made him, like, from wanting to go home to just acting like a complete fool out of nowhere, and it really just, yeah, I don't know, man. The writing for all these characters sucked, especially this episode, man. It really, I don't have much nice to say about this episode, to be honest, though. And I'm trying to break it down as objectively as possible, not just be like, I hate Star Wars Disney, you know, but I would agree with you, Navy, but if I say that, I'll get demonetized, but yeah. We have more reason to do what you just said than Torben does, let's put it that way. Yeah, it didn't seem right, Savage, yeah. It seemed like such a jump to go from a minor inconvenience to I'm gonna go do this. It doesn't really make sense. I guess Torben could feel bad because he went there so hastily, but even then, it doesn't make sense. Yeah, I am a hater. This show sucks. Yeah, I hate bad shows, so you're right. I like good writing. This show doesn't have good writing. Not even close. So yeah, I guess you can classify me as a hater. I mean, when you consider the writing of Andor and the acting and it's so much better. And then you look at this and it's just like, man, besides that fight scene, I don't have much positive to say about this show. I don't even think that's a redeeming part. The duel between Kalnaka, Sol, and Torben. The choreography was bad compared to the choreography we got in the other one. So Kalnaka is mind-tricked. He's trying to kill these people. He grabs them and pushes them against the wall. All he has to do is stab him right then. But no, he makes Wookiee noises. He could kill him, doesn't kill him. Again, Torben, I can give a pass because he might not want to kill Kalnaka, but he's literally against the wall screaming and his hand is free with the lightsaber. All he has to do is flick his wrist. The lightsaber's going right into Kalnaka. Even if he wanted to chop his arm off, do anything. But instead of doing that, he pulls his arm under Kalnaka's arm that's holding him and blocks it. Then they get the little screamy part. It's horrible choreography. Like, you could have disarmed him, you could have at least chopped his arm off, and in Star Wars, we all know that's not that big of a deal. Let's face it. And maybe cutting his arm off would wake Torben, or not Torben, but Kalnaka up. The choreography was horrible when you come off the last episode, or the 2 episodes ago with that choreography. I'm like, it was so much better. The choreography in Andor is not fully comparable because they didn't have a bunch of Jedi fighting in, like, melee combat. But in terms of action, it made much more sense because they were one of the main things that Star Wars is so scared about killing off its main characters. They've done this in this show, at least. Where Andor, they didn't mind. The stormtroopers, they would kill people. They would aim good. They would have a realistic outcome from a gunfight. It's not just the good guys missing every shot missing the good guys and then the good guys landing every shot. It was balanced properly where you felt like, man, these guys need to be careful here. Where when you watch the movies, them running around the Death Star, even in the originals, you just didn't have to worry. These stormtroopers can't aim because they're the main characters.
And I need every last shiny ready to fight.
Oh, Miguel, yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, they're not good. The writing is the main thing. I don't mind them showing bad Jedi. I get, especially if you have that many, but even it just doesn't feel like they got to the right. How do I put it? I don't mind the outcome of these specific Jedi necessarily, but the writing to get them to that point needed to be better. And the writing needs to be better is not a strong suit of this show. They don't know how to do that. The writing is so bad, especially when you come off House of the Dragon and you're like, dude, everything's awesome. And then you look at the writing here. It's night and day difference. The shows, as much as we compare them because they're similar budget and come out at the same time, they're not really comparable. The writers so far through House of the Dragon are 10 times better than whatever we're getting in Acolyte. It's some of this writing is just embarrassing. It's rushed. Doesn't really make sense. It's just like, and when, especially overall on the show, when you factor in we built up to episode 5, which was awesome, and then we go take a huge step back into episode 6 where nothing really happens, and then now we go to episode 7 where again nothing really happens, and there's only one episode left. The season just feels incredibly horribly structured. It's just yeah. I could see where Andor thinks people think Andor is boring, but at least the writing is good. If anything, I think they should cut down on the amount of episodes in Andor. Where in Acolyte, they need to up the amount of episodes so they can actually explain some of the stuff better with all these plot points we still have, and they clearly don't have time to do now. Andor had a few too many episodes where I feel like you could try to tone it down a little, but not too much. I think they need to go like House of the Dragon style. Have the episodes be an hour long instead of these short little episodes, and have them be 10 episodes. I think they should start doing that doctrine. I think it would be better as a whole for Disney, but they don't want to do that, so.
Archive systems under attack.
Anyway, I guess we'll just end this video here. We've already gave our thoughts. Hopefully it doesn't get demonetized, but every video has been getting demonetized late. But fingers crossed.
The enemies don't stop it.
I'm gonna save this video before we've already been talking for too long with one video, especially with all the problems we've been having here.
Better stay with your squad.
Yeah, I could turn my music on. Yeah, but those dudes loving Star Wars on social media, or Acolyte specifically on social media, they're pissing me off. Because it's the same with politics, where they're just on one side, dude. They just pick that side and it can do no wrong, and it's so obvious the way they talk about it. They try to hype it up like, oh, she's so amazing character. None of these characters are amazing. I don't even think that's an opinion, to be honest. And it's just like, oh man, they hype that shit up, and Disney's gonna look at them and be like, yeah, let's listen to them. It's enough. But the cycle's gonna go on, though. Everybody's gonna hope the next episode, or the next show's gonna be good, and you know, and the cycle's gonna continue.
Who's that leading the droids? Can't quite see.
Even then, working with an established story, they're still doing a fantastic job, and they've changed some different pieces of it from the books, according, if I understand correctly. And even on those ones, they still did it good enough where people are like, that's cool. Or to a certain extent, they enjoy it. Where this show, even though they're writing stuff, if this is their level of writing skills, they're not good. Their writing skills suck. They haven't put it together properly. The characters are rushed. They're really not doing a good job. I'm not even going to give them credit. Like, oh, they're making something. Well, you probably shouldn't be, because you didn't do a good job. And Dave Filoni signing off on this is just... Dude, you got to tell him to do better, man. Yeah, it's because I'm sick.
Movement on the east landing pad.
Sadly, after the next episode, no matter what happens, people are going to be saying, Acolyte was so good. It's not good, dude. Like I said earlier, even if this last episode's awesome, like episode 5, it's not going to save the show, dude. This show's ass. Absolute ass cheeks. And I'm not even talking from, oh, they hurt my lore. I'm not even talking about that shit, dude. Yeah, it's just... Whatever. I have, like, zero excitement going in. The amount of excitement I have for House of the Dragon versus the amount of excitement I mean, really don't even have for this show is just crazy, the difference. It's just like night and day, man. It's just... I even forgot that show was coming out today. I got on and I called my parents to update them on the surgery that I'm going to be having. And I was randomly scrolling through Twitter and I saw somebody say the show was out. I'm like, oh, Acolyte's out. Like, I have zero excitement. I don't look forward to this show. Like, I really don't. I wish it was good. I want to love Star Wars and love Disney Star Wars, but they're just not doing a good job at any of this shit. To be completely honest. But what do I know?
got to do better. Reinforcements are en route. They'll never make it in time if we don't stand firm.
Oh, even the girls act. You know what? You know another. Yeah, you reminded me. I'm glad you mentioned OSHA. I'm even talking with my hands. That's how you know it's serious. The acting on the scene when they were both standing on the bridge and Soul was holding them. Holy shit, dude! Watch that scene back. It was bad. They're both standing there. OSHA, May, and they're just holding their hand. OSHA, May, and they're just standing there like, oh my god, what are you doing? Like, it was so horrible. At least in their case, they're kids. But the Leia actress actually acted well. You know, I didn't like her scenes, but the Leia actress did a good job. The young Leia actress, I mean. Here, I'm like, what is this? OSHA, May! It reminded me of Finn Finn screaming Rey and the sequels. It was so bad there. Just like oh my god, this is what we're doing here. OSHA, May! OSHA just holds her hand out. May! OSHA! Like, oh my god, they're just standing there, not even trying to like grab each other. Besides holding their hand out and pretending like they're doing something. They literally weren't doing anything. OSHA! May! Oh my god. That was probably the cringiest scene right there. Like, oh man. Anyway. At least they're kids, so I can give them a pass on their acting, but yeah. Man, you gotta sell that scene a little more.
Give it up. Separatists have captured the hangar.
And part of it is like the stranger. I'm horrible with names. He wasn't even in the episode, dude. Like again, where this whole episode didn't need to be a flashback. They could have glossed over a lot of this particular episode and actually had some plot advancing part of the story in there after. But yeah, I don't know, man. The lightsaber haircut, I don't know why people are even talking about that. That's just so not even a thing to complain about in this show. Like, I don't even, when people focus on that, you're just trying to hate the show. Like, that's such an irrelevant thing to bring up. Like, oh, she cut her hair because she's trying to blend in like her sister. That's not even worth mentioning, honestly. There's plenty of realistic shit in this show to hate other than her cutting her hair. But people focus on that on social media, which is just, it just proves to me there's just people who want to hate it. I'm like, dude, if you want to hate it, that's fine. There's plenty of shit. You don't need to bring that up. Like, at least that one kind of made sense. She's trying to blend in, but there's plenty of other ways that wouldn't have worked. But the hair cutting specifically is not even remotely problematic to me. I'd be more worried, like, can you see her marking? That would have been the stuff I would be worried about, but just complaining that she cut her hair is, like, not even. Yeah, exactly. They're metal detecting for 5 minutes. They could have done a quick montage on that instead of they're looking for the virgin stuff. They just drew it out so long. Even Soul's fascination with OSHA instantly just doesn't make sense, dude. They made it fanatical with her. It was borderline creepy level of stuff, and you could always make that case with the Jedi. Let's be honest, they're very strange when it comes to that. But like just the way he's following, and even the acting in particular, you reminded me of a scene now. I think it was when he was watching him by the yellow tree. And was it when it was by the yellow tree? I'm trying to remember where the exact scene. I think it was when they were by the yellow tree. And they started walking away. There was some scene when he was following them, and he was making noise like they were about to die. I'm like, dude, they're just kids talking. Like it was such an awkward scene. I'm like, he's over emotioning. Like, why are you so emotional here? And I'm not doing it, oh, Jedi shouldn't be emotional. I'm not even factoring in Jedi. I'm talking from an acting standpoint. Why was he being so worked up on them just talking? It wasn't even, we're gonna die tonight. Like, then I could be like, oh, kids dying. But it doesn't make sense to interfere the way they did. It really it feels so out of place. And again, I cannot stress it enough. I'm not talking about, that doesn't make sense for Jedi. I'm not even talking about lore. I'm just talking from this show. It doesn't make sense the way he's so obsessed with her. And, what are they talking? Like, I'm like, dude, what are we doing here? And I know if I'm talking to the Star Wars Disney lovers, they're gonna say, yeah, he's over-emotional, that's part of his problem, Jedi aren't supposed to be that way. The way they do it is just ridiculous, dude. It's just like, what is this? It makes zero sense.
Someone's landing. Enemy leader, maybe.
Again, this show could just be so much better, and it's sad seeing how the lacking of quality this show has, which it should have. Star Wars is a huge franchise. They got a huge amount of money there. They have the money to bring in the best writers and everything they need, and they can't do it. Exactly. No, we talked about that earlier. The fire doesn't make sense. The whole place is concrete or stone or something. How does it spread that bad? We speculated in the first flashback that maybe May went down there and blew up some of the stuff. The fire spreading like that makes zero sense. And I was open to it in the beginning because I'm like, well, maybe May went and did something that we don't see and we'll see in the next flashback. Well, now we have seen the next flashback. She didn't do nothing. It was just the fire magically spread that way. It doesn't make sense. At least the witches didn't die from the fire, but we kind of figured that already. But yeah, the fire shouldn't have been spreading that way. It's just... Was the show bad? No, it was great. The show was fantastic. Mother Anastasia, yes, Queen, best actor. I hate Soul now. No, I still like him. I see people tweeting all that garbage shit. Like, dude, these characters all suck, dude. Soul's one of the more interesting ones, and even then, I'm like, dude, this guy gotta do better. I like him from Squid Games, but the actor here, some episodes I'm okay with his acting. Other ones, like this one, I'm just like, oh man, this feels very just strange. I don't know. How much of that is maybe he doesn't know English, but even then, in this scene to where I just talked about him over-emoting, that's not a dialogue thing. He wasn't speaking there. He was just over-emotioning. Or whatever you call it. I'm sure there's an official name for it that I don't know, but it just doesn't really fit very well, but what do I know, man? At the end of the day, I don't know shit. It's just Star Wars anyway. We don't expect much out of it anymore, let's be honest. Ooh, just save those guys. Can I do my ability? I can't release my ability? Okay. Thank you, game. God, I love this game. It's just like Acolyte. Pile of shit. Excuse me. Still sick. Yeah, they made the Jedi a little too creepy. And in fairness, they've always been creepy. A bunch of religious dudes come and taking kids. You can, you know, make the connections, which I get. It's a show, I don't mind. But they made his obsession here a little too strange in my opinion. And I'm sure they're going to try to write it off as something with the Force is drawing, you know. Anytime something weird in Star Wars, you just know it's the Force. That's the same with religious people in real life when they don't understand something. God works in mysterious ways. Same with the Force. That's a little weird, but you know, the Force works in mysterious ways. You know.
Stop the shutdown.
Dark is coming.
Where maybe if they had a better writing to build up to that wouldn't feel as bad. But this show just kind of, we say it all the time, the show kind of feels rushed. They focused on a plot point that didn't need to be focused on, and now we're missing out on the cool plot points for a flashback that was pretty obvious that was going to happen. So it's just like, oh man. I don't know if it's rushed, but I think it's more just the structure of the show's off. But even for those saying like, oh, if it was a movie, it would be better. I don't even think that would save this show, to be honest. Who knows? Yeah, it's called Stream Snipers. We get them every day. And every day you guys all act surprised. Yeah, see, there you go, Savage. There you go. That's a good point. So strong he didn't notice it was May. Like, oh, man. That's where they're kind of conflicting, because I could admit, like, oh, well, you know, maybe he's so focused on other things, he's not specifically looking to see if that's her. So I could see her slipping in under his nose. But then when you go off and make their borderline addiction creepy, and you're going to write it off that it's their Force connection, then wouldn't they have that Force connection there? Where he clearly, here in this episode, the connection was to Osha. It wasn't to May. So it's always been to Osha. It's not that, oh, she's the bad guy in the updated episode or the current timeline episodes. You know, they made the connection to OSHA, so now they kind of contradict themselves there. So I agree. It's just, even in places where I could write it off, where people earlier were hating it, and I'm like, no, I could defend it. Then this episode comes out, and I'm already having to go back on some of that, where I'm like, no, they just didn't. The fire's one of them. That's one of them that we just talked about. It just, yeah. Oh, he did? I didn't even notice that. Now that you mention it, I kind of think I did, but I just didn't, it didn't register, because I remember the scene now, yeah. I think he did say OSHA. I think it went in my brain, but it just didn't register, but yeah. Yeah, whatever.
Powering on invasion units. Your mission is the destruction of the cloning facility on Camino, the source of the Republic's clone troopers. Expect resistance. We have limited time to enact our...
That's another argument I don't even pay too much attention to. Lightsabers don't kill people, but little knives do. I mean, there's so much else wrong with the show. That's just like such a small nitpick. But again, you know, when the show's bad, every little thing adds up. That's true, and it is true. They're so inconsistent with that shit. They need to fucking get that straight, but you could at least try to explain it. Well, the lightsaber cauterizes the wound instantly, a knife doesn't. But even then, they had her die instantly, so yeah, it's still not good, I agree, but it's just such a small nitpick when the whole show itself is absolute dog shit. Like, it's... Where if the show was good, I could overlook that easily, but because it's as bad as it is, it's just, man, you add it to the long growing list of things, you know, it's just like so many things. It's like, my list, I need a new page already. There's so many fucking things wrong with this show. This show doesn't feel like it has quality, though. Like, really... I don't know how else to word it. It's almost low-budgety. I know it's not low-budgety, obviously, but it kind of feels like that more than... I don't know. There's not much nice I can say about this show, to be honest. And I'm trying. I try to break things down as objectively as possible, but damn, this was making it hard. If you're trying to be positive anyway, it's making it hard. It's easy to break things down objectively. I have no problem saying something shit. I don't care. They're gonna lump you into the hater group. Don't care, dude. If disliking the show means I'm a hater, then I fucking dislike it. If liking good writing means I hate this show, then I am a hater. Then I'd gladly wear that banner then, if that's the case. I like good writing in this show. Does not have it. And even the parts where I'm like, maybe I could give them some credit, and then they immediately contradict it in the following episode where I'm like, no, can't do it now. Never mind. That's how this episode feels. I agree. It's a side plot that wasn't particularly relevant to the story, because again, a lot of it we already kind of knew what was coming. Maybe we didn't know the super specifics, but we kind of could get the gist of where we were going, right? And then they did a whole episode dedicated to that. Didn't advance the overall plot at all, really.
Secure the landing pads for capture. We may then proceed toward our ultimate goal.
Whatever.
You will know the power of the dark side.
No, that's supposed to be an overheal later. Thank you. Even then, if this is a movie, it's still shit. It's not good. This would be a shit movie. Minus the fight scene, I would still be saying it's a shit movie, because that doesn't change the writing, really. Might change with the structure. Can't even hit this guy, dude. Jesus Christ. The structure of the show would be helped if it was a movie, probably, but that's not...
My patience.
That's not gonna save this show.
No.
mean, if they had written it in better where this would have been a bigger surprise, it might have played off a little differently. But it was kind of obvious, like, oh, Jedi did something bad here. Even our predictions going in weren't exact on a lot of it, but we got close enough where you can expect it coming. It's not really... We even nailed the part where Anastasia gonna want her to go because she's trying to be the good mom, and then we have the other one being the bad mom. She's gonna be the one to bring him to harms. We nailed that shit. Nailed it. That's not even, like, it's just... Yeah. And frankly, in a show that's all talking about dialogue, or excuse me, not dialogue, choreography, I thought we were gonna see an awesome battle between the witches, and we really didn't. She just did a mind trick, and then they all died. Kind of went Luke Skywalker at the end of episode 8 or whatever the fuck it's called.
You have failed.
Oh, what happened to oh, I think she just got straight. I don't even know.
I will trust your accounting.
We're all getting straight here. How fun. That's true. If it was a movie, we could have got it over at once instead of dragging it out.
Prepare for phase 3. Capture points selected. Barracks and hangar. This is our penultimate phase.
You know, I'm gonna. You know what? You just gave me an idea, and I'm actually gonna call them out on that. I think the witches were dumb as fuck. Okay, so you have all these warriors, right? You have all these warriors. Oh man, I should have called it out in the video. This is why I hate making the reaction video, and then I think of my best things after we've talked about it. So now it won't be in the video, but at least you guys get to hear it. Okay, so there's how many witches fighting, right? We have all these bows and arrows. They're fighting. The mother Zabrak one was holding her own, right? I get he wasn't necessarily fighting, but if all of them are fighting, you think they'd be capable, right? So what do they do? What do they do? They're like, let's combine all of our forces and get into one guy's brain. He's a Jedi. And then when they get a chance to kill Torben, they push him against the wall with Count Dooku's lightsaber right there, ready for a quick thrust. Moment over. If he's not a main character, done, right? But he's a main character, he doesn't die. They put all their eggs in one basket, didn't even kill the guy when they had a chance, and when she gets there and mind tricks him, every one of the witches dies. It would have been better to fight them or as a group, not all putting your eggs into the mind trick. Why did they die for the mind trick? It made no sense to put the entire coven in that dude's head. Because if he dies now, or not even dies, if he gets mind tricked out, you all die. So wouldn't it have made more sense to fucking fight it individually with your bows and arrows and little sticks they were fighting with? I think that would make more sense in terms of a battle than let's all go inside. Oh, time to die. Again, I think that's a little bit of lazy writing then. They probably didn't have the money for this choreography. They're like, no, let's just have them all die with a force. Fucking Luke Skywalker episode 8. I'm tired now. Like, yeah, that's stupid. This whole show sucks. I didn't even think of that till just now. I'm like, man, that don't even fucking make sense when I think about it now. That's the sad part. The more I think about the show, the more I'm like, no, that's wrong too. It doesn't make sense.
Now invading the hangar.
Because why the hell, if I had a huge group of guys, why would I put my mind trick into all of them, knowing I could very well die? And not just me, my entire group, where if we fight them piecemeal, they had some archers up on the walkway. They had a more medieval strategy, which frankly, after seeing this, I think I would take that option. I'd rather just be spread out and fight, because one of these dudes is a Padawan who doesn't know shit. There's only 2 Jedi you really got to worry about. The Wookiee, he didn't even seem to be that good, but you could make the case that's because he was mind tricked and it was them fighting with him. But his fighting style didn't seem too good, other than he was strong. Could have killed him and he didn't. And again, he's mind tricked, so you can't be like, oh, Count Dooku was strong with the Force and saved him. No, he wasn't even fighting back, dude. Mentally wise, he was completely under their control. Don't give me that shit. I know the Star Wars lovers are gonna say that. Well, maybe in a comic they'll say Count Dooku was fighting back in his mind. That's why. Horrible writing. If they were gonna do that, they should have showed that. They didn't show that. So fuck you, fuck that opinion. That's a stupid opinion. He should have killed Torben when he had a chance. The moment he pushed him against the wall, he was done. But he didn't do it for the sake of the story. Great choreography, by the way. But he did try to stab him, and then Torben blocked it. Yeah, after having the opportunity to already stab him a long time ago, but they had to do the little Wookiee. You know, Wookiees always got to make noise. They drew it, like literally just push him against the wall, be done with this, but they didn't do it. You know, it's just. Obi-Wan show was shit. That show was garbage. It shouldn't even have been a show to begin with. At least this show, I could agree. If they had done it right, I could be okay with the show. Obi-Wan, even if they did it right, I didn't want the show. It doesn't make sense. There's nothing to really say other than possibly contradicting your characters. There clearly was no reason for the Kenobi show to even exist. But they wanted to get the fan service of getting Kenobi and Vader back. And oh my god, we got Hayden Christensen! Which is cool. I like Hayden Christensen. I love Darth Vader. But they made both of the characters look worse. So overall, at the end of the day, did the show make Kenobi and Vader better? No, it made their characters worse. It made them look bad on both of their cases. Why would Kenobi leave Vader again alive and Vader now get shit on yet again? And you made him look bad with that situation with the fire. It doesn't make sense. All for the fan service. Where at least this show, it's not necessarily about fan service. They could have, if the writing was better, I could be okay with it, but it's not. Yeah, Obi-Wan show was unnecessary. I agree. It didn't need to be a show. We said it before the show even came out. And then the bad execution of the show didn't help at all. You know, it already shouldn't have existed. It got bad. Minus the fan service of seeing Vader and Kenobi. The show itself was just irrelevant. Oh my gosh. Or at least this one, I could give them credit. They're coming up with a story. They didn't do it right, obviously. But at least I could say this show could be more relevant if done right than Kenobi was. Even Book of Boba could have been done better, but... Let's just put it this way. If you take Vader out of the Kenobi series, nobody would give a shit about it. Because the rest, there was literally no plot point that was interesting. And even then, the choreography was pretty bad. But again, it gets overlooked because we have so much nostalgia for those characters. But the fight scene itself, in terms of meaning, it was meaningful. In terms of actual looking awesome, it didn't really, the choreography wasn't the best. But even in the show, like, I could overlook that choreography, but the rest of it just, the chase scene sucked with the Leia actress. Oh my goodness, like, it was just bad all around. Minus the one scene where he's walking down where Vader's walking down the street and he's looking for Kenobi and he knows he's there, so he starts killing civilians. That was the only scene I thought was awesome and showed Vader in the proper light. Where he's just here like, okay, I'll get him to come out. And I know how to do it, but the rest of it just made him look bad. Yeah, it was obvious. I think you're lying if you say it's not, basically, but it was obvious in the writing of the originals. It was meant that Obi-Wan and Vader haven't met since Mustafar. That was their first time meeting. But then they because they didn't specifically mention it, even though it was blatantly obvious, the writers were like, oh, we could fit it in here. And all they only did that for the fan service, to get the views. But it didn't add to their story at all, other than add bad stuff. Why did Kenobi leave Vader alive again? It makes him look bad because he knows what he's become. He should have finished him off. Why did Vader lose? He wasn't supposed to lose. He's supposed to be awesome. And he lost to a Kenobi that was literally just days ago couldn't do anything. Days ago was just burned and then magically healed quickly. The writing was horrible for that. And it made both Kenobi and Vader look worse than they were. Vader and Kenobi stories would be better off if you had not even added the Kenobi show. It didn't add any positive to it. Yeah, hiding under the robes wasn't good. The scene there, Reva's acting sucked in a lot of the scenes. Felt it was too forced. Choreography sucked between them. Actually, I think the coolest fight, choreography-wise, in the Kenobi show was actually Reva versus Vader. Because he was just kind of toying with her. That was probably the coolest fight. I liked it better, besides the nostalgia side of it. You know, between Vader and Kenobi. I think that was my favorite fight there. But even the scene where the CGI was horrible. CGI when the snowspeeder's shooting at Reva and she's blocking the shot. It just looks so... Yeah. Didn't look good at all.
Complete the operation cripple the clone army. Fail, and the enemy reinforcements will destroy you.
Test my patience.
Right there.
If they wanted to have fan service, they should have literally had a Vader show where it's just Vader hunting down Jedi. And maybe there mention he's looking for Kenobi, but never find him, obviously. Like, is it Kenobi? Like, you could at least show that he's still trying to find if he's alive, but he never does. But, you know, I think that would be better, because you could just show Vader absolutely tearing through Jedi we don't necessarily know. So you got plenty of cannon fodder. You make Vader look good, because you just keep seeing him shit on so many Jedi, you know. Then you get the fan service of bringing Vader back on screen and having Hayden Christensen back, but they decided to go down the Kenobi route, which shouldn't have been a thing. If I'm on the board and like, you want a Kenobi show? No. That would have been my easy answer on that. It doesn't make any sense. Vader show? Yes. Kenobi show? No.
Republic troops have recaptured the core.
Rogue One, Rogue One, they did Vader right. It didn't hurt him in any way. We're like, damn, they just got away. That was the closest thing I guess you could say was, man, maybe they did get away. But other than that, like, perfectly fine. Kenobi, all they did was hurt. Other than the cool scene where he's snapping like kids' necks and shit, or dad's neck. Forgot what he did. Did he snap the kid's neck in front of the parents, or did he kill the parents in front of the kid? I don't remember, but that was the only thing I thought that's Vader accurate right there, where he'd just be like, huh, I know Kenobi's here, and I know I can get him to come out if I start killing civilians. It was just an objective move, where it's not an emotional move from him. He's like, alright, kill this guy, I don't care about the kid. And it gets his objective accomplished. It seemed perfect. Then they fucked it up in every other way, basically, so. I don't even want it to be a Vader anime. Stop putting the cool shows in comics or like cartoons. Like, we need some live action awesome shit, man. We're not getting that. Even Andor, even though I enjoy Andor, it's not on par with the shows I super duper like. It's not up there. In terms of Star Wars shows, it's my favorite, or up there with my favorites. But in terms of other shows, like compared to House of Dragon, it's not even close. Andor had so many episodes where I'm like, man, this really is kind of, whatever. Where House of the Dragon, I haven't had one of those episodes yet. So I'm like, alright, this all makes sense. It all fits. Star Wars' best show should not be in the comics. That's the problem. It's not even that I don't like anime. I just like, we need to get some live action awesome shit, dude. Put your money into it, make an awesome fucking Vader show, man. But I honestly, I wouldn't be terribly surprised if we ultimately get that, because they know they have to rely on fan service. Vader is walking money, basically. And if you just show them do that, but now you kind of contradicted it because we know there's a Kenobi show where they kind of shot themselves in the foot already.
We've been alerted to an elite rebel cell operating out of Mos Eisley. They know we're coming. Rebel Alliance forces are helping them evacuate, so expect heavy resistance. We'll secure the settlement and everyone inside, point by point, starting at...
But even then, even if they did make a Vader anime, it would probably be better than any of these live action shows. I still prefer it be live action, but if they made a Vader anime, I'm signing up to watch that shit, don't get me wrong. Yeah, I see that video too, that whatever you call it. I don't remember the title of it, but yeah, that TIE Fighter one was pretty cool. I even specifically remember the first time I saw it was when I was playing, what was it? Ghost of Tsushima. I even remembered I was up north by the snowy mountains. So it brought good memories back because I can remember the exact moment I watched it. And I was collecting flowers and shit, and I'm like, ooh, Vader thing. As I'm watching YouTube out of the other corner of my eye, I'm like, time out, gotta watch this. Or not Vader, but TIE Fighter thing.
Taking position in the junkyard.
Like that's one of the things that worries me here, is with the Thrawn arc. I love Thrawn. I want to see awesome space battles. This CGI is lackluster though, and I really don't want to see bad CGI. The fact that the prequel CGI from the 90s is better than the shit we're getting now worries me. And I get, oh, well, that was movies. This isn't. Dude, the budget's big enough to do that in the show. I'm tired of the excuses like, oh, it's a show. Who cares? You're focused on the shows, so put your money into the shows then. Stop whining. Put your money into the shows. Make it good, you'll make your money back. It's that simple. But they don't make it good. They keep making this fucking garbage ass quality shit here. Even those speeder bike scenes, dude, look pretty bad. In this last episode here, where I'm like, CGI in this show's been an absolute fucking horrid mess, to be honest. Oh yeah, I was so excited for the Book of Boba Fett. The best part of that show was the end credit scene in Mando Season 2. Where you get to see Boba take over the throne. Oh, I was so hyped. We're gonna get the awesome Star Wars Underground Boba on the Iron Throne. Let's go! Oh. Then we got it and we're like, never mind. We got the Power Rangers and Boba who doesn't know what the fuck he wants to do. Oh. Fucking let down.
Unidentified rebel leader on site.
Stay together. You hear me? Squad, securing the junkyard.
Get yourself out.
Yeah, but everybody hailing the original trilogy the best. A lot of that is just nostalgia. They had a lot of problems in there too, but you know, we all watched it as kids, so we don't break it down as objectively as we would a Disney show where now we don't have the nostalgia for their stuff. So it's true, it is better still, but there's plenty of problems in the original trilogy that just get overlooked because we all grew up watching it. And so many people do not even admit that they have a nostalgic feeling towards it. They literally will not admit that that is clouding their judgment on breaking stuff down. They're so fucking dumb. A lot of Star Wars lovers of the original trilogy do that all the fucking time. Where I'll at least try to be honest, like, you know, that's bad here. Like, for example, Leia kissing, you know, like, if they did that in Disney, we'd be roasting the ever-loving shit out of them. But when George does it, it's fine. You know, that is simply because of nostalgia. So sadly, I don't think any Star Wars that comes out, even if they make perfect movies, is ever gonna surpass the originals because we're not nostalgic towards it. Maybe the new kids would be, but that will still take time for them to grow up and have that. But in terms of us, no, it's always gonna be the originals, no matter what Disney does. Disney could make the perfect movies and shows, and we would still say the originals is better. So that's not even. I wouldn't put too much money or thought into that. Ooh, Elijah. Exactly, which means bad writing. So you had it, but you already had the plan, but you didn't write it out all the way. So now you contradict yourself in your writing. That's bad writing. But because it's George Lucas, we all, oh no, we cannot. George is our god. Like, no, he didn't have the best writing either at times. definitely better than Disney, but there's still things where if Disney did it, we would be up in arms, but because George did it, we overlook it. Like,
Been tipped off about us selling Mos Eisley.
and nostalgia's the thing that does that.
The stormtroopers back while we ready an evacuation.
Ooh,
We're
that's
not leaving
always.
our people behind.
Just saw the episode? Yeah, it was a shit episode.
Cantina. And remember the civilians. We're fighting in someone's home.
I don't know if we would. Not now. Looking back now, and it doesn't seem like anybody cares. A lot of these people hating the Acolyte and who are just absolutely loving everything George, they kind of overlook a lot of that shit. Or if the same exact thing happened in Disney, it's ruining. It's franchise ruining. When George does it, you know, he could have done better. The way they handle Disney, the way they handle George's mistakes is completely different. And that's because they grew up watching it. And this is coming from a dude who hates Disney Star Wars, so there you go. I can at least separate that nostalgia and try to break things down objectively, but sadly a lot of people don't do that. That same type of writing happened from episode 8 to episode 9. And yeah, here it was massive deal, massive deal. And yeah, when George does it, it ultimately didn't matter. Will I watch season 2? It depends. If I'm still doing YouTube at that time, yeah, unfortunately, I'll kind of have to. It's the only thing our channel gets views on is Star Wars. So we kind of have to. But if I'm not doing YouTube at that time, I probably wouldn't. Or maybe I just watch it once all the episodes come out. Just watch it at once, because they seem to do better when you watch them all at once. The way it's structured than, you know, watching once a week. Just build up to a huge letdown. But even then, I wouldn't be terribly excited for it, to be honest. If you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. There's nothing, you already know the story if you're here listening to our reaction, so you really don't need to watch it. Just Google the fight clip, or YouTube the fight clip. That's pretty much it. The fight clip was pretty cool. Other than that, and again, not perfect. If you slowed it down, you can find plenty of stuff wrong with it, of course. But that's every fight and every show, so. But other than that, that was cool. But other than that, the rest of the show is, you missed it. You're not missing much, to be honest. You're just saving yourself the hassle. And by not watching it, you might, you know, if more people stop watching it, maybe Disney will ultimately learn. But
Enemy elite on sight! Watch out!
Trouble in the cantina.
wish I could run that fast. Sadly, I am a fat man. Damn, he just frenzied from 8 miles away, dude. I wish my frenzy would work like that. Mine doesn't hit shit. Awesome.
Enemy has taken the sector.
Well, yeah, I don't really have anyone to use.
Fallback position. Begin a withdrawal.
May the force be with us.
Our transports are still fueling, not ready to evacuate. We have
Side note, got the doctor stuff done yesterday, so I'll be going in my Thursday, which is my tomorrow. I'll be going in late Thursday, getting admitted to the hospital. Stay the night there. Then we'll have the surgery my Friday morning. And then I'll stay there for Friday and possibly leave on Saturday. But it just depends on how I'm recovering. Because I did have a surgery as a baby. Can I even do an ability? No, okay, I can't do my dash in the fucking game tonight. Still can't? Okay. So I should be leaving Saturday, but I already had a surgery as a baby in the same area, which could lead to complications, which is my main concern. But even then, I'd probably just stay till Sunday if that happened, but it probably won't. But worst case scenario, I'll probably be leaving Sunday. That's the plan anyway. So I finally get to not play this lovely piece of shit game for a while. That's gonna be fun. Fucking broke ass controller. We hit RB 1,000 times there, and did it work? Nope. Doesn't matter anyway.
In the bazaar! Getting hot here!
even shot me.
Imperial lockdown.
I
Take
did not
possession
even
of
see
the
you.
Auction House.
Stay down. I feel the light.
Say what, movie? Yeah, man, I ain't gonna have to agree with anybody. I don't give a fuck, man. I mean, people are already saying, oh, if you look at the sequels in 10 years, you'll like it. No, I won't. Those things are shit. I don't give a shit if every other motherfucker likes the sequels. I don't gotta side with people just so I fit in. Ah, fuck those motherfuckers. That just tells me everyone else is a fucking idiot.
Vader has joined the Imperials. Be cautious.
U-wing transports are prepping for takeoff. The stormtroopers will aim to destroy them with explosives. Stopping that is our only goal.
10 years, you'll like the Acolyte. Nah. I wish more people would not give a fuck about people's opinions like that. Well, everybody likes it now. I got you. No, you don't. Your opinions, dude. Don't be afraid to have your own opinion. That's exactly how we keep getting shit content when people are just all gonna, oh, well, everybody likes it. Well, I gotta like it. That's why a lot of people are liking Acolyte right now. Because they don't want to be seen as a hater. So they're like, no, it's good, it's good. They just kind of get bullied in a way into saying it's good because they don't want to risk the chance of their side calling them haters. I'm like, dude, I don't give a fuck, dude. This show sucks. The writing sucks. Don't give a fuck if I'm the only one who thinks it. This writing is fucking horrid. I'm not saying that because other people are saying that. I'm saying that because I watch it and I come to my own opinion. Like, oh, this show sucks.
I create opportunities.
I'm not like, what does Star Wars Theory think? I'll say what he thinks. I don't give a fuck. Don't say what I say because I'm a YouTuber. Come up with your own fucking opinion, dude. Nobody wants a bunch of followers unless you're religious.
Why not?
Nobody wants dumb followers unless you're a religion, basically.
Transport's destroyed, and Mos Eisley is surrounded. We'll brave the desert and flee for our lives.
Yeah, the only time people want stupid people is if you're religious or politicians. Politicians love stupid people. We're seeing that right now with this political debate. Yell the dumbest, factually incorrect thing, and everybody's like, yeah, because I'm on your side and I don't like those other people. I agree with you. Like, fucking idiot, dude. If people ever started thinking for themselves, dude, the politicians and religions are fucked. Yeah, I don't give a fuck about fitting in, dude. Those are the people I call cocksuckers in life. Don't be a cocksucker, you guys. No, I'm not saying you can't be gay, YouTube. Calling out, that's my way of saying ass kissers. When you say, oh, that guy's an ass kisser, you're not thinking he's gay. You're saying he's a suck-up. He's just doing whatever he wants to the boss till he fits in, you know, that type of stuff. Come on, dude. Don't be stupid. Don't be those people.
Too many! First Order taking control!
I mean, right now I can barely do shit. I can't even cuss. That video, we haven't done our, whatchamacallit?
Headed right for you.
Our, what would it be? The whole demonetized saga, if you're watching those videos. I uploaded that video with zero audio whatsoever from game or my mic. And when I first uploaded it, YouTube demonetized it. The initial bot did. And then it went through the, I guess, the reviews, and it was fine. But the fact that the initial bot demonetized the video when there's no dialogue makes zero. Oh my god, dude. The demonetization stuff's getting out of hand, man, where I can't even do anything at this point. So I'm gonna, literally, if I want that video to go up, I'm gonna have to just go through and mute every cuss word or every little thing that might slightly offend one of these dumb cunts who pretends they're so strong but so heavily offended by every little fucking word. I'm talking about a certain group, but I can't name them because I'll get in trouble. There's a man who cusses all the goddamn time, and in real life too. It's not good. This place isn't made for people like me. I cuss all the goddamn time, even in front of these nurses. And they're like, oh, you cut? Like, yeah, what's wrong with cussing? I forgot what I did. Oh, when I went to the ER last week and she did the COVID swab, she put it up my nose and I'm like, well, that fucking sucked. I'm like, it just comes out. It just, cussing is part of my dialogue. I don't give a fuck, dude. As you can clearly tell, I'm sure. Like, it just comes out. I don't even think about it. But YouTube, they're like, well, that might be offensive to someone. Well, fuck them, dude. Whatever happened to sticks and stones may break my bones. Now we're raising some sensitive-ass little words I can't use anymore, dude. Like, you can't say that. I don't, well, fuck you then, dude. Shit. Grow a pair, dude. That's how I'm gonna teach my kids. You worried he called you a bad word? Who the fuck cares, dude? It's just a damn word. Doesn't matter how good or bad it is. Do something about it then. Like, stop whining. Whining is not an option. Don't do that. Teacher, he called me a bad word. Either slap the shit out of him or don't give a fuck, dude. Just move on, bro. Words don't mean shit, man. Words only have power if you let them have power, dude. You know how many dudes come into a chat in the course of our stream and have roasted or said some bad shit, called me all the worst names of it, doesn't matter? No, because it's them, like, it literally is irrelevant. Their opinions are irrelevant. Like, more people need to grow a pair.
I'm a Jedi, like my father.
I'm a Jedi. That's good, Luke. Great dialogue here by Luke. I'm a Jedi, guys. Can I not? Okay, I can't jump here, but he. Okay, he can't. I can't. I can go this way, but I can't go the other way. All right, got it. I understand clearly now.
Take him!
Take him! Oh, we're going to this guy. Oh, but we killed the other guy too. Wow, this is getting confusing, game. I don't know what's going on. Oh, nice. I love to do that. My RB button is literally not even working. I tried dashing there, it didn't fucking do shit. Dash! Nope, we're not gonna dash. Okay. Maybe I'll die in the surgery tomorrow. At least I got that to look forward to. I'm gonna wake up. There's been a problem. You're gonna die in 5 minutes. Ah, good. At least I don't gotta play Battlefront anymore. Do your duty. At least we got that to look forward to. Oh, TK did disarm it. Okay. I wasn't expecting to fall back, but no, they actually did disarm it.
Try. Did good, but we can't stay here. Fall back toward the castle.
Fall back.
Left chance then. Our transport shuttle's in system, so we don't need to hold the order off forever. We just can't let the stormtroopers seize more ground. Got it?
Excuse me.
Good.
How rude. I agree, the episode should be longer. If they're gonna make shows, which they've clearly started doing, they need to make these shows longer. I don't even think the 8 episodes is the right length for the way they're shooting it. They don't seem to know how to shoot 8 episodes. Like, look at the structure of this show. It makes 0 sense. We're already at the last episode now. We're coming up on the last episode, and there's so many plot points they haven't even went into. The most interesting ones they haven't even shown. So you're either going to rush over them, or you're going to need Season 2 now, but nobody wants Season 2 because you shot it so bad. Or, I shouldn't say nobody. There's plenty of cocksuckers out there who are thinking this show's fucking amazing, so... Unfortunately. Hope that's out the door, Luke, not at Kylo. Am I feeling better? No. I still got a cough that doesn't go away. A lot of phlegm. And sadly, I get checked into the hospital tomorrow, and if it doesn't go away by then, I'm going to have to get a COVID test. Even though I'm pretty sure it's not COVID, but you never know. And if it is COVID, then I got to delay everything by a week, so I'm hoping it's not. Hopefully it goes away. I was expecting the cough to be gone by this morning, but sadly it's still fucking lingering around here. So I'm probably going to get another fucking COVID test shoved up my nose, which is... that's the thing I'm least worried about, to be honest. Or the most worried about. Other than that, I don't got to get a catheter, he said. So all they're going to do is put me to sleep. Then I wake up and it's done. Alright? That literally does not bother me at all. I have no problem. Even if I die, I'll be asleep, so. Surgery doesn't really bother me, even though mine's not, it's not that serious. Surgery, obviously. But I'm more worried about that COVID swab, dude. Like, get that swab out of my fucking nose, dude. My nose does not like it. I've had it plenty of times now. But my nose still does not get used to it. It's like, no, don't you put that shit up there. That's not a hole you put things in, dude. There's certain holes you're not supposed to shove things in there.
One of our best agents just arrived. I'm sorry. They got the castle. We'll try and rescue our friends later.
Yeah, I think this show would... I mean, it wouldn't fix a lot of the problems, but I think it would help it a little bit if they released all the episodes at once. Because these... like, we built up episode 5, now we're like, alright, it's gonna be good from here. And then we've had 2 just subpar episodes that aren't even relevant. Now there's only 1 episode left. Where I'm like, dude, if we could watch them all back to back to back, it might not be as bad, but... I'll be fine. He even said worst case scenario, if there were complications, he would call in someone better. I'm like, oh, okay, if there's someone better, shouldn't we get him in the first place? But he's worried about the surgery I had when I was an infant here. I forgot the word, but it could mess up the area. And if he goes in and it's too complicated, they'll just get another guy to come in and do that, who's more capable with that specific type of surgery. Because here it's just laparoscopic or whatever, they're going into the belly button. But if they have to switch to actually slicing me open, he's going to get another dude to do that part, so. Really, I'm not even worried. It's not. I'm more worried about the fucking bill at the end of the day, other than the actual procedure. I think I could probably go home that day, but... Because in America, they do it outpatient. You can go home that day, where here... I'm gonna get it done in the morning, and I gotta stay the night. I'm like, dude, come on, I should be going home as early as Saturday morning, and no.
But they will not.
My girlfriend's like, no, you need to stay through Sunday. I'm like, bitch, are you paying the bill? Like, the fuck? And I got one of the nicest room I could get too. I wanted a nice room if we're gonna be staying there a couple nights, dude. So got Elijah. In America? There's no draft right now. Any idiot still uses a draft. No, just know that guy's an idiot. Sounds like something on a certain side in America would say, but no, there's no draft. Nobody has to go to the military here. Our military is fully intact, and one of our greatest adversaries is currently killing themselves at this very moment inside Ukraine. So there's no draft. Maybe one day they would be if we went into a full-scale war, but even then, the war with China is most likely, if we're even talking about America, I don't know, I haven't waited for your response, obviously. But if we are talking about America, even then it's just going to be Air Force and Navy, and we wouldn't need a draft to replenish those losses, most likely. Unless the war super got out of hand and ground battles where we were getting shit. But yeah, as of now, we were not even close to a draft. I think too many people watched that that Civil War movie. Everybody's all excited for the Civil War and shit like that, probably. Oh, you signed up. Ah, see, that's different. Okay, I thought you were saying a draft. I'm like, okay. Signing up's different. Yeah, you're gonna go to boot camp if you signed up, I would imagine. See, you know, that's another thing we haven't talked about. I'm glad you mentioned it. We're going to have to wait and see what they say with Kiadi Mundi. So, again, there's another plot point we need to keep an eye out for. And, again, we're cramming it all into the last episode. There's so many, so that's just one we haven't mentioned that you can add to that list. Because it makes no sense to bring him back if they don't set this up as a cover-up. So, he wasn't alive at this point. So there's really no reason to bring him back. The only reason you bring him back early is because he's going to have to be in on this cover-up. Because obviously in the original trilogy, he said the line that everybody knows. So they kind of have to show it now. And now they've limited themselves. And if they don't show it here, people are going to roast them. And then now they could wait and show it season 2, but everybody's going to roast them and they should know that going in. You need to explain that now, especially since you brought him back in this season. But that's just yet another bit of time we have to spend telling a story where I don't think we needed to if you didn't bring them back, and we're already running out of time. If they structure the show better, I wouldn't mind it, but because you haven't, now we're just, that's another thing you're going to need to squeeze into the finale. And again, if they structured it better, they could have planned it out better and have already shown it or blah, 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 whatever. But now because they haven't, there's so much stuff we got to get to in just one more episode. Where they just, you know, yet another example that they aren't structuring it. But we'll see. We'll see what they do here. Hello, Ant. Welcome from Iceland. Our draft we wouldn't have a draft in the States unless we went absolute full-scale, people are dying to nukes. Not in apocalyptic sense, but they're being used on the battlefield. We need to get forces, you know. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. Because our military is structured much different from Russia, so our military wouldn't get bogged down in a standard fight like Ukraine is right now, like Russia has. Russia doesn't have the technological, or they have the technology, but they don't have enough of it. Where we focus on quantity, they focus on quality. That's the difference between our two armies. Russia has very outdated doctrines and a lot of their tactics, which turn into spam. If you play Total War, they're a spam army. They got absolute shit units, but there's a lot of them. Where the United States has the high quality units. So our military structure is completely different. We don't have that spam doctrine, at least not now. We wouldn't. If we were fighting the war in Ukraine, things would be going very differently than how Russia's doing it. Their artillery is all focused on inaccurate firing, and it's still useful, but it's kind of getting outdated now, especially if you have high precision. Where you've seen we've given Ukraine high precision weapons, and they're wreaking havoc on Russia, where their artillery is still causing a shit ton of casualties on the Ukrainians. But in terms, if you're building an army, I'm choosing the accuracy over spam in this particular case. Where Russia, I mean, we have thousands and thousands of videos of them literally just spamming dudes in to certain death, and they know it, and they just go in and die. They're literally using spam tactics to take inches of land, and they're afterwards they start bragging like they're doing something, and it's like, really, I would be embarrassed if I'm a Russian right now, because they're showing they're outdated. They don't know what they're doing. Where on paper, they should have won this war instantly, but again, paper doesn't really, you know. My biggest worry about the States is our overconfidence. We are better, yes, but if you go in there acting like that the whole time, that's where you might get fucked up. Where you keep thinking like they can't do anything. That would be my biggest concern if a war actually broke out. If you go in expecting them not to cause you a bloody nose, and you're like, dude, don't go in like that, dude. You need to be ready. You're gonna take casualties too. We haven't fought in a real conventional war in a while. Those wars in Iraq and Afghanistan really weren't. You could kind of say that in the 90s with Saddam was, but even then, their technology was pretty outdated, but still, that was probably the last one you can maybe say was conventional, and they absolutely got shit on in that case, so. That was like a perfect example of how well invasion went. Like, objectively speaking, America did a fantastic job in terms of logistics on the war, so who knows. And that was the last real conventional war we kind of fought in, so. I guess you could look at it like that. Stormtroopers aren't particularly good, but the clones were all pretty fucking good. Quality over quantity.
Alright everyone, this is it. The First Order have found us. They've got might, we've got ingenuity in each other. Our orders are to keep them busy while Command clears the facility. First, target those ADM-6s. Iron disruptors to weaken them, ski speeders and artillery to finish the job. It's up to us. We can do this!
Excuse me, teammate. I'm gonna stand right in front of you. Yeah, the insurgent stuff isn't a conventional war. Militarily, we could take them out, but the government side of things, they didn't know what to do. They're fighting a bunch of religious people. It's not gonna... Unless you go in and kill everyone, which is not the U.S.'s style, obviously, despite what people are gonna want to say. That insurgencies are definitely not where any conventional army is. But the war in Ukraine is not an insurgency. They're fighting a full-on conventional war. Russia is, it's just showing they're using very outdated tactics. I even just saw a video where they were going over, they use satellite imagery to go over all the Russian bases and how many tanks that are in reserve that they're eating through. A lot of them left are the older, like, crappier versions. I don't mean the model of the tank is bad. I mean that it's, like, rusted out, you know? Like, they're not properly maintained. Russia is eating through its tanks right now. They are spamming so much. And people, I know every time we talk about it, you get that one dude who's pro-Russia comes in here and starts screaming the same two arguments they always do, but you can break it down factually speaking how bad they're doing. They are literally just spamming. The losses are they're getting so fucking high. They're already way too costly for this victory they're claiming to get. Like, they've already, yeah, they've crippled themselves already.
That monster's got a chink in its armor now. Speeder and artillery units. Let's see if we
I
can
mean, war
exploit
is in Star Wars' name. Star Wars is based off real life and a lot of the stuff, or similar stuff, I guess. Whoops, I clicked assault. I didn't mean to, but... Ah, see, there's one of the idiots I told you.
We have reports of Kylo Ren having joined the enemy.
I'm the dumb Star Wars fan. I love when people who don't know shit about a topic start trying to talk because they've watched one of their political dudes say something. So they're like, I know what to say. They clearly don't know what they're talking about. Welcome to Star Wars fans. I'm surprised he's not a Acolyte lover. There's always one. Just like Bill Burr. There's always one! There's always one anytime we bring it up. Always one. Russia has nukes! Like we said, there's always like 3 arguments they can go to. It's kind of embarrassing when you talk this topic. But sadly, there's idiots like that on my side of the argument as well, so we roast them as well. Like Jason Hinkle, that cunt on Twitter. YouTube, yeah, you can ban me for that one. I'll take the ban for that. I'll call that motherfucker a cut any day. Russia just bombed a Ukrainian child cancer hospital. It's like they're trying to click all the boxes. And there's even video where it's a KH-101 Russian cruise missile that hit the hospital. And they're trying, no, that's an anti-air missile from the Ukrainians. And they've horribly bad Photoshop and tried to claim it was the Ukrainian missile that hit the hospital. It's like, dude, you're not even trying, bro. Like, come on, man. It's embarrassing.
Resistance special operative arriving on site.
Well, that was lucky. We'd be dead if we had missed. Well, but if Trump wins, what he's saying is not good for Ukraine. He doesn't know. He's gonna potentially give up a victory that we have where we don't even have to lose American lives to do it. From what they've said so far, and his side said, they're not good. They've actually probably been infiltrated online by people who are, they repeat Russian propaganda a lot. That's easily debunkable, but that side, unfortunately, agrees too much with it. But sadly, the left is ran by a fucking idiot who doesn't even know his own name, so. And he's not even giving enough aid, frankly. Right now, they keep talking publicly right now. Where they're like, oh man, Ukraine's trying to ask the US for us to get permission to use our long-range missiles we gave them to strike Russian airfields inside Russia. And they're talking about it publicly. I'm like, dude, if I'm the president, I'm like, let's say we can't, and then one day I'm gonna call them, go ahead, and just surprise attack. But when you talk about it publicly, it's like, stop talking publicly, dude. Oh my god, it's so annoying. Our side, even though as of now we're giving some aid, they're not doing a very good job of it. This is where somebody comes and says, well, what about the border, Ninja?
A new ally just landed. This is our chance.
Very related.
Stop that ATM-6 before it gets to the base.
That's just so sad. When you follow a topic closely, like, you already know what everyone else is going to say the moment you say something. Especially when the other side has very shitty arguments, you know exactly, like, they have, like, 3 things they can go to here. And none of them are particularly good. It's like, oh, fuck. Here comes the border question. Yeah, realistically, Biden's just being led by advisors. Best case scenario, well, best case scenario, neither of them win, and we get someone actually competent. But that's, yeah, we're America. We don't vote people that are smart in. But it would be for Trump to go in saying all these anti-Ukraine things, and then, oh, well, you know, and on second thought after getting in here, I found all the facts, and now I'm going to defeat Russia. He'll take credit if he does it. That would be best case scenario. I'm going to supply Ukraine. They didn't supply enough. We could beat them here. You know, that would be best case scenario, and Trump would take all credit like he's genius, and his side would eat it up too. They're all screaming anti-Ukraine shit, but the moment Trump says we need to do something, they'll all jump on the bandwagon. You know, a perfect example is actually in House of the Dragon, when they, in the, was it last episode? Or the episode before? Where he's like, I'm gonna go fight. And all his little cocksucking Kingsguard he put in were agreeing with him, and then when the king changed his mind, oh, no, I don't think I'm gonna go. Oh yeah, on reflection, it's actually good that we don't go. Yeah. They're yes men. They just say whatever their side says. Whatever the king says, he's gonna agree. It's the same thing with politics right now with that side. So if he could go in running that he's anti-Ukraine, then ultimately switch, and then he can take credit. That, like I said earlier, that's how I would spin it if I was advisor. Like, Mr. President, here's all the reasons your side's wrong, and you can be the president that takes out Russia or cripples them. Don't you want that? Literally just pander to his ego. Like, you get to take credit. You get to go on TV and say you did it. I took out Russia without even losing American lives, and all I had to do was send our old technology. And it's wrong. He didn't do it, but, you know, you let him take credit. It's what you do. That's the advisors, right? The fucking council, or the... What's it called in Game of Thrones? The High Council, the King's Council, whatever it is. Like, literally, I feel like this type of shit going on. Like, literally, Aegon reminds me a lot of Biden. Like, literally, just sit there and don't do nothing, dude. Just shut the fuck up. We'll handle it. You just shut the fuck up, dude. That's where I feel like we're at with Biden right now. But sadly, you gotta send him out since he's the public figure and he doesn't even know his own name. It's like fucking embarrassing, dude. It's pretty sad that that's our two options in America right now. Two absolutely idiotic presidents. Sadly, we like voting any idiots. Maybe you could make the case. Maybe it is the people behind the scenes. They want the idiots because they're easily manipulated. But I don't know. What do I know? Apparently that guy's blind. Oh no, I think he's just focused on Leia. Never mind, I agree. I'd be focused on her too, man. Look at this. You are one lucky brother. I have an idea. Oh, but that's Sid Trooper, though. Why you gotta see me, Sid Trooper? Go look somewhere else. I'm waiting for this Aiden to pop her head up out this hole real quick. She's not doing it. Now she does, but the Sid Trooper gotta have plans here. And now we've missed our opportunity to ambush Aiden. You son of a biscuit. Yeah, we're dead now. Especially with my shit aim. Can't even fucking land a shot.
The first order are close to capturing the hangar.
Lucky for the Aiden. If I was aiming, we would have killed her 5 minutes ago, but sadly I suck.
Fall back further into the mine.
Oh, now I can aim though. Now I land the headshot. Of course. Fucking annoying.
Skywalker, standing by.
Need some room to operate if we're gonna get out of here. Keep the power generators running so we can get those shield doors closed.
Didn't even hit him. Okie dokie. Side note, I'm about to tear this controller apart and have to fix this RB button, man. It's not working. We weren't supposed to do the force push, though. That was supposed to be a repulse, but one of the buttons didn't work, so obviously the force push comes out. Either that, I'm gonna have to remember to really fucking press this button hard every time, man. I literally just said I gotta press it hard, and I didn't press it hard there, but luckily it still hit him anyway, but... Or still registered that I pressed the button.
Keep an eye on your scanner.
I was gonna get shot around the corner there. Didn't matter, we immediately got a lightsaber up our ass. Yeah, but controllers are expensive and I don't have money, especially since we gotta go pay $3,500 for a surgery I'd rather not get. Sadly need. We won't be buying anything big anytime soon now with our dead channel and wasting money on a surgery.
I'm on my way.
Probably gonna break it more. I'm pressing a button so hard for it to register. Maybe if I take a hammer to it, maybe knock it back into place. Who knows?
There they are.
A lot of problems can be solved with a hammer. Or they could also be made worse. But 50-50, who knows? It either gets better or it gets worse. There's really, there's only two options. Don't be scared to try some new stuff. I love Xbox controllers, but man, their bumpers are too fucking weak. If you drop them, that's it. PlayStation controllers are too small for me anyway. But at least their buttons don't just break the moment you press it. Or drop it on there, and then now it doesn't register.
Nope.
I mean, I'd rather just get a new controller, man. Fuck, if those were the two options, you don't need surgery anymore. Buy a controller. Absolutely, let's go buy a controller right now. We set sail immediately. I'll go right now and buy another one from go to the mall right now. Unfortunately, my body decided to break, even though I was eating bad. So I mean, can't really be surprised. That's what happens. You eat bad. I'm not one of those fat people. Why am I like this? Well, because I eat bad and make bad decisions. That's why. Why, God? Because you're a dumb cunt. That's why. You fucking idiot. Oh, fuck, I didn't see this dude. I believe they have it under control.
Stop them from blasting that last generator. We tried our best. The First Order won, but we sure gave him a hell of a fight.
This stream completely died off. Probably should have. We haven't even been on 2 hours yet. Jesus. These last two streams have been a downright waste of time, I fear. Gonna upload a video while we're streaming. This is a good idea. Saves time though. So hopefully the stream doesn't start lagging here. And it will probably be demonetized, but at least we can start the review process quicker. It takes too long to talk about Book of Boba Fett. Plenty of things.
This is our time. Today, the First Order will triumph. Look at the haphazard junk assembled against us, against our fierce technological might. On this day, we together will sweep the Resistance aside and take our rightful place in the galaxy. Attack! Destroy their defenses. Let none escape.
Lucky you went back down on that hole, buddy. Excuse me.
ATM-6 defenses
oh, there's so many.
Resistance
We're dead.
assault underway. Intervene immediately.
No, there's no point to vote. I don't like either of the options, and the people we could vote for, they're not gonna get votes. Kind of like it's rigged without being rigged. Like you don't get a choice. We don't have any good options really. Even here, you already know it's going to come down to unless one of them drops out of the race and they name a different candidate. But you already know which two sides the party choose. That's it. It's going to be one of them. I'm going to write in Tywin Lannister. Can I vote for Tywin Lannister? Fuck, even if Charles Dance, the actor, fucking ran, I'd be like, you know what, I'd probably choose him. At least he would be an intimidating presence. Forget the fact he's not American, doesn't matter. At least he's an intimidating presence. Cool down. Yeah, we hit him, but because we cooled down, we didn't get that last burst off in time.
Ion disruption detected. Defend the ATM.
Yep, it would have been the end of Mando Season 3 when they reunite. Then you could have ended it on a cliffhanger, but nope, they sadly rushed it all back. Put it in Book of Boba. I almost guarantee you that was because of rewrites. I don't know if that's the moment they planned to switch to a movie, so they changed the writing, but it was obvious they weren't supposed. He was supposed to be with Luke so much longer. But, yep, idiots prevailed, unfortunately. Now they're like, we're making a Mando movie that no one's really excited for because now Mando sucks. Now after the first two seasons were good, and the third one was just, you know, laughable at best. It kind of shows you how fast the show can just turn to shit. First two seasons were pretty good, and then after that it was just like, what is this? What are we doing?
New ally deployed and taking position.
Shots registered. They didn't, man. A couple of those were headshots too. Hello, Egg.
Sensors indicate an ATM-6 has been rendered defenseless. Backup requested.
If they wanted me to actually watch a presidential debate from start to beginning, I don't care what you like, if you like or dislike Joe Rogan, but the style would be good. Have one dude there who is preferably not biased, but you know, everybody's biased nowadays apparently, and just sit there and have a conversation. No teleprompters, no let's speed through questions so these dumb Americans can, you know, what do we do to Ukraine? We need to help the border. There you go, and everybody claps. Like, no, we actually need to have dialogue here. Like, let's talk. You know, I want an actual discussion between the two guys. Put them in the same room, one moderator, that's it. Short break and we get hours of talking, not just them on a stage. I'm here because I like gay people and we need to protect the gay rights and gay people are people too. Like, oh, yay, clap, everybody clap. Like, no, we need to have actual discussions, but sadly they don't do that because the candidates can't do that. They do it because the majority of people are fucking idiots and they don't want to hear that. The people who are anti-Ukraine don't want to hear a whole list of reasons why they're wrong. They just want to hear their side saying, "No, this is why we're right." And even though they're wrong, they'll, you know, scream that shit. They want the quick answer that just backs them up. They don't want to actually solve anything. They just want to pretend they're doing something, kind of. I guess is the way of doing it or saying it.
I have toppled nations. I have slain kings. I have honored legends. Devastation tactics.
Wow, that's what we were talking about in the beginning when we talked about Acolyte. That's just the way people are nowadays. I mean, they probably always have been, but now we get to see more of it because of social media. But you pick a side and that's it. You're on that side religiously. You don't really think for yourself. You just agree with whatever your side's saying. And that's politics. That's a lot of this Acolyte hate now. Like, some of the people loving Acolyte are too afraid to say they dislike something because then they'll get labeled as the other side that they've been kind of always hating. Like, it's turned to a left versus right thing, but even in Star Wars now, it's just like... And then you could be in the middle like me, where I'm like, well, if I like it, I'll like it, and if I don't like it, I don't like it, you know? Most people aren't like that nowadays, at least not on social media. They're too worried about what other people think. Like, what if, oh, I didn't like this. What if I say that my side won't like me now, and now I'm just a hater? Like, no, you can not like something. Don't worry what your side thinks. Worry about what you think, dude. No, sadly, everybody gives a shit about other people now. And not in a good way either.
ATM-6 closing in for the kill.
Like, I could break it down easily why America should help Ukraine, but sadly, you don't want to hear that. You're either on the side that's like, Russia's killing babies. They always scream that shit, and they are. They've done bad shit, but there's more to it than that. But that, you know, that's what that side always, you know. You don't want to support babies? Like, come up with a better argument than that, dude. And the other side is always, well, what about the border? We should focus on America first. They put the dumb argument. That's the side that side wants. Yeah, Americans, we're Americans. We should be first. I'm like, we are helping. Defeating one of our enemies without having to send troops and only sending a little bit of aid and outdated equipment, and we're killing Russians in hordes. You're absolutely helping your country standing. What are you talking about? Fucking retarded to think otherwise, sadly, but you know they don't. And again, that side always contradicts themselves. We shouldn't help Ukraine. Then Israel gets attacked. Oh, we gotta help Israel because that's where Jesus came from, and I'm religious. I like Jesus. You know, like fucking idiotic. They have idiotic reasoning for most of these people on both sides. Oh my God, y'all are fucking morons, dude. Both sides again. I can't stress it enough. I'm roasting both sides, not just one.
Resistance assault underway. Intervene immediately.
No, you turned into a factual stream.
Command has sent one of our best to assist.
Push forward. Annihilate anything in our way.
Just missed him too. Took off her ear. Perfect throw. Meant to do that. Absolutely meant to do that. Yeah, but you have to remember, you're talking to a bunch of idiots. The majority of people on both sides are fucking idiots. They don't know that. That's where Jesus is from, right? I stand with Israel! Immediately screaming. They're anti-war Ukraine, and then the moment Israel gets attacked, now all of a sudden those same anti-war people are now pro-war. And objectively speaking, if you want to say which side, if we could only side with one, let's say, right? And send aid to defeat the enemies of that country, right? Which one benefits the United States more? It's not even a competition. Ukraine 100% does. But, you know, these guys are fucking morons, and they don't think like that. So. That guy's still way the fuck out there. Like, that's the funny part with movies. Like, what was it, what movie was it? I'm drawing a blank. What fucking movie was it? I don't remember the name of the movie, but like, where they want to kill off the whole population of people. Like, the politicians do. That's ridiculous. Politicians don't want to, because they literally get in office from stupid people. So why would, it doesn't benefit them to educate their society. Like, they wouldn't. That's why everybody's like, oh, they're killing us all off. They're not killing us all off because they want you voting for them. And the majority of people are idiot, and those are the people they cater their arguments to. That's why these debates for both sides aren't based off facts. They're just screaming your catchphrase. Whatever side you're on, you scream that catchphrase. That's why, because they know most people's minds are not structured to actually think about these topics. So they're just trying to appeal to the masses, and the masses just want that. You know, it's the Family Guy, whatever, that skit where they're just like 9/11 and everybody screams. Obviously that's a joke, but there's some truth in that where you just You just scream out whatever your side wants, and everybody will agree. You're not going into any detail on what will actually be done. You want to get the vote, so you make it as quick as you can, because most people don't want to. Most people, frankly, it's not that they don't want to; they just don't know. Like, you got to make it easy, and both sides do it. That's why whenever anybody tells you they're killing us all off, like, no, they want your votes, dude. They want the dumb people.
Seizing the hangar.
My, that's a lot of people there. Speaking of a lot of people.
Captured.
There is no neither option.
Destroyed. Now to cut off their final escape route.
Sadly, all of these countries are playing the Game of Thrones, whether we want it or not, and they are all doing that. So if you don't play it, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. And sadly, it's the way the world's been since the dawn of humans, and it will continue to do so, despite people thinking it's changed. We're still assholes at the end of the day. And we still like killing one another, and it's not going away anytime soon. It's despite people blocking traffic and acting like they're... If anything, they're giving people more reason to do the thing I just mentioned, but I don't want to get demonetized. I don't think anybody likes those people. You block traffic, dude. You're like, dude, shit, I'm a peaceful person, but you block traffic. Oh, man. Some diabolical thoughts be going through my mind, dude. Like, kind of doing what you said you're not. I think there is a guy here. Oh, there's a lot of guys here. I don't even know how I killed that guy, but... Pretty sure I didn't hit the guy I killed, but I'll take it. Free kill for me. Who is surprised? Not me. No, Hunger Games, we're not even close to having that shit happen. But Ninja, that one time in Russia. Yeah. Hunger Games is not that one time. That is like a whole societal thing. It's not. One time, something similar happened. I'll definitely watch Gladiator 2. My only worry is because I'm an asshole, but I'm like, it looked like they're gonna show a battle scene, and I don't mean in the Gladiator, like in the Coliseum. So I just hope they do it kind of accurate, but I get the vibe they won't. Hopefully we get to see an awesome like Roman battle scene. I would love to get some of that shit. I'm a Roman fanboy, obviously, so I kind of want to see some of that shit, but I don't know if we'll get that. Or they'll do the trope where everybody's like, quick, just run at each other and start a random melee free-for-all. Like, oh, I can't stand when shows and movies do that shit. Like, they're not even trying at that point. Like, it's not even trying to be accurate. And plus, we all love Pedro Pascal, so hopefully he's good. And in this one, he'll actually be in the show and not be just wearing a helmet and hiding. Doesn't even fucking film The Mandalorian anymore. At least that's what I heard. I don't know if it's true. I don't even pay much attention to that, but it sounds like it's true. Like, I'll just do the voice, dude. Put my other guy in this costume. I don't need to be there. Yeah, fuck. And then what's his name? Denzel Washington's in that too. And isn't he playing Hannibal in a Netflix show soon? He's doing a lot of like Rome shit right now. Not that I want him to play Hannibal, because Hannibal was not you know what, but you know, in the current society we have to check all the boxes when we cast the fucking show. But whatever. At least I like the actor. Hopefully they'll do good.
They aren't ready for the fire that comes next.
First battle scene was pretty awesome. It wasn't incredibly accurate, but it was cool enough where you didn't care. Just hope they don't Spartacus it up. Where Spartacus, I love the show, but man, their fight scenes were something else. Like, that is not even, they're not even trying to depict how Romans actually fought. It's just like, they have swords, they swing. Like, that's like as far as their knowledge into that subject way. I'm like, oh, please don't do that. He got to dodge the stun. I can dodge a stun. I can't even dodge a swing where I clearly did dodge. As I'm saying it, we immediately get hit.
I fear the Supreme Leader
Side note,
has little patience for
video's uploaded, so I didn't even like the
Order
stream or
will
anything.
win this war.
So when somebody says your internet sucks, no, it's our internet's good. It's just we're playing on servers that are very far away, unfortunately. My only worry with Gladiator 2 is that since they're following up a movie that's so loved, and like, what's his name? I always forget the actor's fucking name, dude. God damn it. Joaquin Phoenix, right? He had such a memorable role. Like, everybody hated him, but his acting was phenomenal, you know? Is that gonna make the other guys try a little too hard, where it gets a little, I don't even know the word, but I guess try-hardery, I guess. Where it's just like, ah, man, you're trying to be him too much. Like, I hope they can dodge that, but we'll see. I like the show, Rome. The first season was really good. The second season, they had problems. I still enjoyed it, but they tried cramming a bunch of seasons into one because they lost the budget. Part of that was because they were going to go shoot Game of Thrones, from my understanding. So, luckily, Game of Thrones came with that, but that's why the second season was kind of all over the place. But yeah, the first season was really good. I just wish they had done the fight scenes a little better. The first fight scene in Rome, season 1, was really good. They showed how the Romans would actually be fighting, or the closest we could actually determine. But like after that, they kind of went away from that. I don't know, Daniel. Go tell Elon Musk to do that. I'm down. Make me like a cyberpunk dude where I have like prosthetic arms and chips in my head where I can like download shit. Let's go, dude. I'm down. I'll be a scapegoat.
Units. We need more time to rig the charges on the droid factory. You've got to push those clankers back.
We're all that's left, sir. You can count on us.
Yeah, I don't even watch the Lion King, so I have no idea.
We let them. We take the comm post and call for help.
No, I get admitted to the hospital tomorrow night. Tomorrow night's my Thursday night. And then Friday morning, if all goes according to plan anyway, I should have the surgery then, and then I'll be in the hospital for the rest of Friday. And probably leave sometime Sunday. Hopefully Sunday morning. I don't want to be there long, but that's the plan as of now. So it sounds like 3 days, but I'm going in late on Thursday, so it almost doesn't count, but it does, because I'm going to be like the first surgery in the morning by the sounds of it, so they need me there early, and I'm like,
Can't get a message off with these blasted droids around.
So really, if I go in Thursday night and then leave Saturday morning, I actually wouldn't be there terribly long. It would be overnight, but in terms of hours, it wouldn't be terribly long, but I don't know.
Comms relay will take some massage.
I don't really care though. We're already paying a boatload anyway, so one extra day isn't gonna. The rooms don't cost that much when you're already comparing, to the surgery that's around $3,500. So I mean, the room itself being an extra $60 is, in the grand scheme of things, the extra $60 ain't that bad. But at least I don't gotta get a catheter now. That's my main thing. I didn't want that, and hopefully no complications, of course. Like I said earlier, I did have a surgery where, when I was an infant, I had a surgery in the same area, which could potentially lead to complications. He doesn't think it will, but, you gotta look at all outcomes. So that would be my only real concern, but even then, they already have a plan in place if that happens, so I'm not too particularly worried, to be honest.
Need backup. Repeat, need backup. Got your distress signal, lad. Sending you a care
Yeah, I'm gonna have to wear a hospital gown here soon.
Excellent. Now on to the vehicle station.
Gonna have my ass hanging out. Or should I be front?
Starting to prep the Woka.
I mean, you know, weirdly enough, I don't mind going through hospital procedures of shit if I can then reward myself with a good meal. Because that's kind of like what you always, I'm sitting at the hospital, let's order some food, you know, or after the procedure, if it's not, you know, something where you can't eat, obviously, you go get some good food. Like, I still remember, what was it, 2020, I had to get a colonoscopy and an endoscopy at the same time. And the night before, you had to take a laxative where you literally just shit your brains out, you can't eat. By the end of it, you're literally just shitting water. You're fucking starving because your body's empty. In the moment we got out of it, I'm like, let's go to In-N-Out. I am gonna eat some good fucking food. And it was so good. It makes the food taste better. But sadly, I can't do that with gallstones. Because even if I eat like greasy / fat food, it's gonna mess up my gallstones and mess it up. And even after I take it out, I still need to wait a couple months. So I don't get to just order a bunch of bad food. I still might do it anyway. I'm debating if, since I go in the night before, maybe I'll eat some Jollibee. Because then technically, if I do get an attack and, you know, it hurts, in a few hours I'm getting the surgery anyway. I'm already in the hospital. So I'm like, technically I could still do it, no? Like, worst case scenario, I just gotta wait a couple hours of pain, which ain't too bad. I did that before, so I'm like, maybe I'll order some food. Maybe I'll get a pizza. My pizza place I like is literally across the street from the hospital, so I'm like, maybe I'll dispatch a rider, as they say, and get somebody to deliver me some pizza. Yeah, the hospital bed here was shit when I went to the ER, but I splurged and I got the best room I could get. They actually had a bunch of different tiers. And I got the family room, and the more you upgrade, the better the equipment is. Like, or I should say like bed and shit, from my understanding. So hopefully I can at least sleep good, but I might not sleep a lot the night before so I can go in there and not be sore. Because with gallstones, one of the problems is you actually get back pain / shoulder pain from it. So you factor that in, you're already, my back always hurts now, basically. And then you go in and you're sleeping on a fucking rock. It's like, dude, this really, your back's like actually the worst part of it. You can't get comfy. So you're just like always flipping over. You can't get comfy. So hopefully the room will be nice enough, but we'll see. You can eat some kinds of beans. I want to eat chili beans, man. I love Denison's chili beans. I'm a Mexican, or part Mexican. I love me some beans, bro. But I like putting cheese on top of them, and you're not really supposed to eat that, so. I'm kind of borderline wanting to do that because I've already lost a shit ton of weight. All right, so last week, or what, not even a full week ago, I went into the doctor to first talk to him about what was going on. Told me what to eat, what not to eat, right? And yesterday I went back in, and the first thing he goes, wow, you've already lost a lot of weight. Because with this, I have zero appetite. I just don't want to eat. I know I should eat, but it's just, I have zero appetite. And the stuff I'm eating is so much better for me than what I usually eat. My body is just dropping the weight pretty quick. Like, it was noticeable the first thing he walked in, he's like, wow, you already lost weight. I'm like, damn, the way you said that sounds bad. Like, I'm losing it too fast, but, you know, I'm not really eating a lot. I've cut out everything bad, basically, from soda to anything bad. I'm not eating a lot, and then you factor in cutting that out, it's just like, dude, I've already lost a nice chunk of weight, so I'm like, dude, I kind of wish we could keep going, you know? Fuck. They said you're not supposed to drink alcohol. In the night I had the big attack, I did have that beer on stream, so I don't know if that was related to that. So I'm not, it sucks. I like eating bad, but when I have the motivation, like when I thought I was going in the military or now this where there's a problem, I can cut out everything overnight and be fine, but. So I literally just, it's just water and nuts and berries and lettuce and few pieces of like chicken and stuff like that. That's not too fatty or nothing. No oils, you know, stuff like that.
The Republic thinks they can blow up our factory. I will enjoy teaching.
I agree, Christopher. That's kind of where I'm at. If they even do a Sith connection, which I kind of think they have to, but at the same time, they've limited their runtime by not putting all this shit. They're not structuring the show properly, so now we have a whole bunch of shit to get through on the last episode. So even if we do get it, you're not really going to get a... They're not going to go into as much detail as we probably are going to want. excuse me.
Activating the main console. Stop that.
Man, I still have that smell though. You know that smell when you're sick? You got phlegm and you cough and you can smell it. That's the only thing with the sickness right now. I might ask one of the nurses when I go in tomorrow. 'Cause I'm gonna go in late. It sounds like 5 o'clock-ish, 5 p.m. So I'm gonna go in and basically just sleep. And then he said about 4 hours before the surgery, which is scheduled to happen around 8 a.m. So you already do the math. That's not too many hours from when I get there to when the surgery's gonna be. 4 hours before that, they're gonna start hooking me up and doing the prep work for it. So I'm like, realistically, I could probably eat a bad meal, and even if I do get an attack, I'm gonna be going into the surgery anyway. Be like, there it is, doc. It's fucking up. Shop it out now, bro. You know. But, so I might cheat and get a bad meal before I go in. But we'll see. Maybe if they say no, that there's something in there that might complicate it, then I probably wouldn't do it. But I kind of want to get some fried chicken or something, you know? Either that or some pizza. I don't know. Eat some bad food, man. I've eaten healthy for a week now. I'm like, I could do it no problem, but man, there's no good outcome. They're gonna rip it out tomorrow anyway, or the day after. Like, I want some good food.
You require a memory wipe. Enemy
I forgot to ask that doctor yesterday, but yeah, that's the only reason I wouldn't, is there could be complications. But even then, from what I understand, if I get the attack, let's put it this way: the gallbladder, a little sac, it has a ball blocking it. So when you eat that stuff, your body produces bile, which then needs to get out of the gallbladder, and it can't get out, which leads to inflammation. And he said inflammation wouldn't be a problem if they go into a surgery, because the scans, he said, they're not showing any inflammation, but he goes, I'm pretty sure it's inflamed. So it won't be a problem if it is inflamed going in. So I'm like, well then if I eat bad, that's what's gonna happen. That's where the pain comes from. Because you're like, basically your gallbladder's bloated, and you're just like, ah, fuck, it hurts, and you can't relieve it. It's not like you gotta go take a shit. It's not that, a shit's not gonna solve that problem. You know, so I'm like, technically I could eat it, but realistically I probably won't. But you never know. We'll just see how hungry I am when the time comes. But one of the perks is I literally don't have an appetite. Like even now, I had a few handfuls of like some trail mix and some water. That's it, and I'm not even hungry right now. And normally I'd be starving by this point. Side note, we're defending on GNOs. What a fucking boring game. You abandoned your tank, sir. It's not very clone-like.
We have underestimated the clones. They may have taken an interest in our troops.
Dude, if I lost a calorie for every button press, dude, oh my god, I'd probably be dead, actually. I don't even want to get any of these guys. We should just get off. We only got 60 views. This stream ain't going anywhere. We're wasting our time today. And yet, here we are. We know we're not getting a video, and I'm streaming. That's not getting us anything. So, like, what's the point of playing this game? But yet, I'm playing it. I'm already getting sick on a healthy shit I'm eating, though, man. I've had chop suey so many fucking times, and I like it, but it's wearing off on me here. Yeah, well, coming one with the force means that I'm gonna play this game anymore, so I'm down. That's one of the positives. Just remember that if I die, you guys, which I don't think I will, but if I do die by some miracle, or bad luck, I guess, I wouldn't really be a miracle, but at least I won't have to play this game anymore. I'll have that luxury. You don't gotta worry about money anymore. I'm like, at least we got that going for us. Where the fuck did I hit you? Game modes? No. I don't like this game. I don't care about the game modes. No offense. You're not supposed to do spicy food, but it's not specifically said you can't, but you kind of don't want to. Because a lot of the time, not all the time, but a lot of the time spicy food is oily, and you're not supposed to eat oil. So like even the ramen I like eating, it's kind of an oily texture when it's all said and done, so it wouldn't be ideal, so I'm not risking it on that. Outlaws will be fun for like a week, and then we're bored. So, and we're not gonna get crazy views on it because it's a single player game. Once the story's done, there's not a lot to do, so nobody's gonna want to watch a stream where you're gonna play a game that they plan on playing. So it's not gonna do well. Maybe the first stream will do well, the second stream might do all right. After that, it will just fade off into existence. Same thing with Fallen Order and what's the other one? Jedi Survivor, right? I think it's Jedi Survivor. Great games, but there's not a lot of replayability. Once the story's done, you're just kind of like, all right, well, I can get off now. Not even drug Jedi Survivor out. I was like collecting plants and shit, trying to make it as enjoyable as possible. But at the end of the day, there's not a lot to do. I just hope the space combat's good in Outlaws. I heard you could be doing that shit. Like, dude, I kind of want to... I like space combat. Can we do that? Because I'll just be up there fighting. Like on a... what was it? Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Obviously, you know Assassin's Creed, right? I like the ship combat so much. I was literally flying through the levels, literally just sailing around, not doing any missions, just having a good old time fucking stealing from ships. That was what I would do. I wasn't doing the story, and I put so many hours into just having fun, you know. I'm like, I hope Outlaws has something like that where I can find something I can get really into. Jedi Survivor didn't have anything like that, so hopefully Outlaws can do it, and the space combat might be that. But again, when they limit you to how many things you can unlock and how many ships you have, like, it gets boring, you know. Like, I wish they would go deeper into that where you could just keep leveling up shit, but it doesn't sound like they're gonna do that. Oh yeah. Love Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon, but they are failing in terms of games. They should have an amazing open world game where you can choose what side you want to be. Oh my god, it would be such an amazing game. They're failing to capitalize on that game.
So they can secure the area.
Be very thankful for your working gallbladder. Because once you get it bad, you really... Most of the food we all like, you can't eat now. Oily foods, fat foods. Just gotta get rid of all that shit. So definitely try to take care of it beforehand. Or look, Google what the symptoms are, and if you notice them, go to your doctor so you just need an ultrasound. So it's ultimately not too expensive, and if they catch it early enough, you can avoid surgery. And it can kind of be managed, if you will. But mine, obviously, I waited for too long on that, because I thought it was something else, and shit happens, now I need fucking surgery, so. Because again, I thought it was GERD, which is just like bad acid reflux. And they're like, yeah, no, all those symptoms are gallbladder. I'm like, ooh, shit. It's not what I wanted to hear. When I went to the ER, I was hoping like, yeah, you just got bad acid reflux. You need to just take some of this to reduce inflation or whatever, you know, whatever the shit is in there. And, hey, you'll be good. And I'm like, oh, gallstones, fuck. That's literally the first word when she said gallstones. I'm like, fuck.
You're malfunctioning, unit.
I don't give a shit about Batman or none of that stuff now. Space combat on this game sucks. The other squadrons had great space combat, but even then it's just... You're not upgrading much. There's not much to do there, so it's just... See, that's why I don't get into those type of games. I know they're popular, but even on Jedi Survivor, which obviously is not on those games level, but as hard as it is, it's just about learning the button presses and like, okay, this guy's gonna do this attack. After you play it a few times, you just get the rhythm down. It's not necessarily you being good. It's just you're learning the what's the word? The routine. You're like, okay, he's doing this attack. I have to dodge, swing. Like it just kind of becomes a mathematical thing. Like you just gotta count like each attack and then know when you can go in. That gameplay, for me, that's not replayability I like, because it's not hard to learn that. It's repetitive. You're just like, all right, I'll go fight again. Ah, okay. Ah, 1-1-2, but no, I hit 1-1-1. You know, like I should have I dodged one too many times. I need to dodge, dodge, swing, not dodge, dodge, dodge. I get some people like that, that's fine, but for me, that's not gameplay I like. That's why I don't get into Dark Souls or Elden Ring, and even Jedi Survivor is as close as I'll get to that, and that's only because of Star Wars, admittedly, so. That level of gameplay I don't really like much. Again, that doesn't mean you don't have to like it. For me, that's not, when I'm talking about replayability, that's not the type of replayability I want. For me, on those type of games, I want to find something I can kind of just zone out in. Be spending time grinding but having fun, like good space combat or something, or ship combat like in Black Flag or something like that, where you don't even need to be doing the missions. You don't need to be fighting the bosses in the story. You're just there, you know, enjoying the mechanics of the game. Just let's just go blow some shit up and see if I get good loot, you know, like that. Just kind of zone out. I enjoy those a little more.
Commander Iden Versio, reporting.
No, what the fuck is that?
Heavy weapon here.
Yeah, Elden Ring's not a game that tempts me, you know. I know everybody talks about it. Huge DLC just came out. Everybody plays it. All the big YouTubers you always see on Twitter, even though or streamers, I should say, not YouTubers. The ones you always see pop up on your feed, even though you don't watch them. Yeah, I get all of those guys. The Kai Kennets or whatever his name is, and all those other ones. Like, I literally never watch any other shit. I don't watch them, but on Twitter, for whatever reason, they're always in my fucking feed. Like, those games just don't even remotely tempt me.
Sacrifice is what you were built for.
I wish they did. The more games I can play, the better. But sadly, no, I don't give a shit about those YouTubers. I don't watch them, so I don't have opinions on any of them. Preferably, I wish I didn't have to hear about any of those YouTubers, but like I said, they're always on my social media. Not that I watch any of those guys. Their fake drama they keep making up and shit. Getting mugged when they go certain places, and I keep seeing that shit in the feed. I'm like, just whatever, dude. Maybe I'm just a hater. Baldur's Gate, isn't that a turn-based game? I don't hate turn-based, but I'm also not like crazy in love with the concept, but I don't know. Could be wrong, I don't even know. Maybe I'm mixing it up with a different game.
You are failing faster than our ship can take off.
Lucky we missed that burst.
I'll bet this never happens to droidicas.
Infiltrating the droid factory would no longer seem to be our primary concern.
Oh god. Well, I'm gonna get off here. We ain't got any views. We ain't accomplishing anything. We might stream tomorrow, but these last two streams have done so bad. I don't know. We'll just see. It is our last day to stream before the surgery, so I don't know. We'll see how I feel tomorrow. Maybe I don't feel good. Maybe I do. Who knows? Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Bye.